Okay, I show great connection. Okay, hopefully you can hear me and hopefully it's actually working now. Hello, hello. Is it working better? Now I'm showing excellent connection all the way around, so you guys let me know. Hello. Can hear me? Can hear the game? The game is very quiet. Is it choppy? I don't know why it's choppy. And I'm showing my bit rate shows good on the way out, so why is it choppy? Why? Let me check my bit rate because that's one thing that can make a difference, I think. So you're still getting like, hello, Tom Bigger Music. You're getting choppiness and not good sound. That is a mystery to me because I show great bandwidth and my sound sounds fine. I'm listening to the stream through my headset. Both the game and you are choppy. Well, I don't know what to say. Let me just. I seemed determined. I seemed destined to have trouble with this. I spent like 2 hours last week going over this entire thing and resetting up the entire stream. It's much better. I haven't done anything. Oh, for God's sakes. Yeah, I don't know what to say. I keep getting this pop-up from YouTube telling me that it's having trouble processing the signal, and which I don't really know how to fix. Yeah, it says you're having buffering. Hold on, I'm fooling with it. You guys are really patient with me, especially since I have no idea why. I'm just looking at all my settings, the same settings that worked great last week. Are you guys getting sound?
Study magical theory.
Hey, Buddha Squirrel. I am having
question
trouble with
for
my
years.
signal, apparently, you
Turns
guys.
out,
Janbo Shar,
not
Buddha
really
Squirrel.
possible.
Hello,
I
everybody.
had
I'm
to start at
trying
a
to
circle.
figure out.
I had to fight to do it.
Everything on my end
Everyone
looks
said I
great.
couldn't.
Although I keep getting a
Swept
message from
floors in
YouTube that it's having trouble
libraries, traded
processing my
phones for
signal.
tomes. I met
No,
outsiders
I
like
turned the
me,
sound off.
new thinkers. If there's something to know about magic, I'll find it. There's no barriers to what magic can do for a visitor, no matter what they say.
Tom, I'm over it. Game and sound are choppy. You guys, I don't even know how to fix this because I've already stopped and started it. And my settings. Hang on, you guys may have just lost the sound because I just moved off that screen to try to figure out what my stream software is telling me. Most of us are old and don't understand this shit either. That's true. So can you hear me just fine? Is it just the game that's coming in choppy? Yeah, and I actually thought I did understand this stuff pretty well. I'm going to turn down my bitrate a little bit and see whether that helps anything. Because I've heard if you run your bitrate too high, it just causes people's computers processing issues, and it can make a lot of lagginess. Oh, hello, Mike. Hang on, you guys. Why are you calling me when I'm on stream? Oh, I can hear myself. Now everybody's going to watch me talk on the phone to you. Just one second. I'm going to put this. I'm going to take this out of. I'm going to see if I'm in windowed mode. Hang on, you guys. I am troubleshooting. I don't think this is going to make a difference. Hello, Crystal. We're working on our stream setup kinks. I feel like this is tradition. I know. I don't understand why. I don't understand why. I am the only person that seems to have trouble. I watched a stream the other day, a news stream, and they were 25 minutes late getting into their stream because they had so much trouble with they had some kind of technical trouble. They handled it a lot more smoothly than me, though. He just simply said, I won't be there till I get this worked out. And it took him 25 minutes. And then he never said another word about it. But why is YouTube telling me? YouTube says it's not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming, and yet my signal going out of my house is very strong. So I'm just running another speed test here. I show really strong signals, so I'm confused. Stares intently at Mother, and then we're having on everything. I think he was calling to try to help me, but he hung up because he realized I was talking on stream. All right, this is becoming like a tradition, you guys, but it's a crappy, shitty tradition that I don't like. My audio is fine, but the audio is fine, but the game, and that's very weird. Sorry, you guys, I'm just trying to think on the fly here. What? If I turn off my software here real quick and try to restart it, I'm going to cut you guys all off again. That'll be 2 times I've cut you guys all off. Yeah, the delay is only like 6 seconds. I can maybe try to make that a little bit shorter. Hang on one second. Yeah, I can't change the stream latency once it's started the stream. Yeah, I don't even know how to fix this other than to turn off my OBS software and turn it back on again because it's my I mean, it's got to be my software or else it's YouTube, but probably no one else on YouTube's having this trouble. Last week went so well, too. My last one after I fixed everything, it went perfect. I appreciate that, Mickey. And hello. So you're getting choppy video, choppy game sound, but you're getting perfectly fine microphone. Have I got that correct? Oh, well, I appreciate that, Tom. That's my son, you guys. Tom Binger Music is my son. He's trying to be helpful. Okay. While we're waiting, chat poll, should I change my handle to something easier to pronounce? I just think you have to look at your chat. You have to look at your name and be careful not to say it wrong. So at the moment, let's see if I'm going to move around on the screen. So this looks fine to me on my system. And you guys are getting what appears to be a slideshow. Am I correct in that? I have my bit rate set fairly low. Actually, I had it up too high, and that was one of the issues. And so I did a bunch of research, and it said to turn it down to a certain number, which I turned it down to. Thanks, Tom. Well, maybe I'll just try a few things and see what happens. Tom's probably only going to hang around for a little while because he's probably working, number one, and number two, he's not a video gamer. So I doubt that he cares about this at all. He always tells me he can't play games with me because he'll get addicted. Every time a character talks, it goes choppy. It is very quiet, I will say that.
By the anchor. What does it look like to you? I heard what everyone says what you heard Perifia say. It's a long chain of who said what. To me, it says key. But
I'm going to
keys do
just
a lot of
move ahead
things.
like it's working, and
Open,
you guys
lock,
tell me.
Switch. Some open one thing, some
No
open
game
every-
sound.
It sounds like Perifius made it to open.
Oh
But it
my
looks like
God, you
use it to
guys.
close.
I think it's like
Maybe
I'm
that's
fated
it.
to not do this.
Sure is pretty. Wish I could see through it.
Sorry, I'm getting helpful texts. So you guys have no game sound?
Dagna, show me what you can do. You want fire? The first task is always fire. It's
The
fire,
sound is
isn't it?
choppy.
Here's how it goes. Bring me the rare stuff for enchanting or masterworks and prep it here, just like normal. Except it's not.
Now see, I have other
It's
people
manipulation
texting
of
me,
primal
a couple
forces.
personal,
And I'll
that
make sure
are
it
telling me
goes
it's
just right. You'll see. They'll
that they
all
have
see.
sound. All right, I'm going to move ahead with this for a couple minutes and see whether it resolves itself over the next.
It's working as far as I can see.
It is?
Yeah.
That's because I'm getting, see, fuzzy audio but usable sound is choppy, fuzzy not choppy game video is smooth. So I have, YouTube is telling me I have an excellent connection now. Bad 70s phone line. That's very weird.
Seems to me like it's working just fine. Maybe it's people's connection or something.
Okay. Sorry, my husband just came in and he went down and logged in on his own computer in a different part of the house and says, it's working for me. Makes the entire thing very frustrating. Especially when you're on my end and you can't, I can't see what you guys are experiencing. You have game sound, but it's echoing and choppy. Yeah, I don't, I'm getting like conflicting messages. I've got a few people telling me it looks totally fine. And then I've got other people telling me, obviously on stream, like Duchess, that it's echoey and choppy. And I don't know how to fix that because my system says it's, I wonder if that's I wonder if that's somewhat on the encoding end. Just one thing, you guys. I'll just check one more setting here really quick. Was last week my only stream that went perfectly? Oh, no, I had no camera last week. Was it the week before? Can't remember now. It's always something. Okay. All right. I'm going to hope that that is a little bit better. I know. Works on my machine. I know, because then it's like, I don't know. I watched a streamer last night who had similar problems. He said it was an OBS issue. Everything looked fine on him. And yeah, it's extremely frustrating when you're sitting on my end, especially since I've spent literally hours doing research and trying to figure out exactly what the right settings are. Because if you look this kind of stuff up online, everybody has different things they say. And I show strong signal, strong audio. Everything appears to be going good. And YouTube is now telling me I have an excellent connection. So I have no clue. No clue. All right, let's go check the war table. And you guys, I'm just going to keep monitoring chat, you guys. Because nobody's going to want to sit in a chat for a long time where the sound is crappy.
Inquisitor, I was just inspecting our new headquarters. Foundation cracks, nesting animals, and miles from any centers of civilization. The staff must make it presentable if we're to receive
Are you guys
any
getting
visitors
game
of
sound?
distinction.
What would you change it to, Shar? Shar Frichter? Should go for it. It's not perfect, but it's not bad on my end. 30 miles from you. Yeah, YouTube is now telling me, because YouTube tells me the strength of the signal, and YouTube is now telling me that the signal, audio, and video is excellent going out. So I don't know. Okay. Play on, Doug says. Play on. Okay, good. I'm happy it's better. I'm happy it's better. I'm happy it's better. Okay.
It certainly wouldn't do for the Inquisition to appear overly shabby.
Overly
We've only
shabby.
just now convinced everyone we are precisely what Thedas requires.
Yay,
The
Duchess.
mages are
Just keep your
showing
fingers
great
crossed.
trust.
Hello, Bronco.
They need to feel safe here.
Do you not feel safe here?
I've had difficulty forgetting Corypheus's attack on Haven. Do you know who first leapt to arms?
That is a fancy
The
chair
workers.
Josephine's got.
They were so proud of our cause. Corypheus simply cut them down.
I agree, Shar.
much
There are a
screaming
lot of
after that
points.
first
A lot, a
passing
lot,
by.
a lot.
So many people turned to ash.
We lost far too many good people to that monster.
Monster.
Sure, they'll find rest with the Maker. But before I return to my duties, allow me to congratulate you on your appointment as Inquisitor, my lady. I will now bring diplomatic issues to your
What are you
attention,
guys doing this
and I'm more than
weekend?
happy to help with any situations that arise.
Would I care to go for a stroll? I need to go flirt with Solus some more.
You don't have to be so formal just because I'm Inquisitor now, Josephine.
Our allies and guests should see you treated with every courtesy, Inquisitor, especially considering the newness of your office. Fortunately,
but not in
after your
private.
courage at Haven, it's no difficult task to do so.
All right, you guys. I guess we need to go do some missions. Get somebody to clean up all these rocks, maybe. I mean, come on. Yeah, I think I've asked before I can call you Shar as well. Hopefully that doesn't bother you. And Crystal's in no position to talk. Her username is Crystal's Pleasantly Confused. So if we have to use Crystal's Pleasantly Confused every time we refer to her, that's a lot of words. Hello, Melanie.
How are the rescue efforts? Have they found anyone alive?
Excavation is slow, as you can imagine.
Watching football, college, Saturday, NFL Sunday, drinking beer. That sounds like a guy's weekend. Well, maybe not a guy. I shouldn't say that. I know a lot of women that watch football. I do not. I play games. Oh, Magistrate Cameron was found dead in his home this morning. I absolutely love that that username though. Crystal's pleasantly confused. I know we talked about this last week and you explained where it came from, but I just love it. Hello, is it Kale? Literally finished with your first playthrough of Mass Effect Legendary Edition. That is awesome. I really need to get back to that. And doing see, Antonio is doing assignments that I should have done last week. That sounds like every student ever. Scharf. Oh, okay. I've been saying Scharf Richter. It's Scharf Richter. The accent is in a different place. Scharf Richter. Has that got a specific meaning? I'm going to call you Scharf then, or Char. If that's okay. I got a lot of stuff going on here. Are you enjoying Mass Effect Legendary? Is it Kale Demos? Are you enjoying it? Is it a first time playthrough for you? Oh, first playthrough ever, or just playing Mass Effect Legendary, or first playthrough ever of Mass Effect? And Duchess is going to her first convention after lockdown. Is it too nosy to ask what the convention topic is? Maybe it is, and if it is, then feel free to tell me that.
Let us begin.
Inquisitor. Okay, that's completed. Gather coin. Who doesn't always want to gather money?
Inquisitor.
All right, I probably need to go out and start getting some of this questing done. Oh, where should we go after Hinterlands? Is it Fallowmire? Is that where we should go next? Not the Emerald Graves, because I'm not high enough level yet. A fantasy sci-fi convention. Where is that? Okay, Scharf says Old German means executioner, but I don't know if it's still used. Executioner. That's a pretty awesome gaming name, though. Janbo is playing Mass Effect Legendary as an infiltrator, did the last one as a vanguard. I am playing as an infiltrator right now, but I have to say I put it aside for a while, but I am playing... oh yeah, Storm Coast. You're right. I should do Storm Coast because I've already opened it up and I haven't done anything there. Which game are you playing right now, Tom Binger? Bye, Josephine. I probably just went around and talked to everybody at last time I was in game, but I think maybe I can skip this step for the moment. We'll talk to Dorian, a couple people, and oh, that's not Dorian. Where's Dorian?
I'm told you have Alexius researching magic for you. Research is always what made
Crystal,
him
we all
happy.
choose our names because we like them.
Perhaps
No
I'll
need to
even go
change
talk
names. That means something to you. Absolutely.
One word of advice. If he suggests
My
altering
first
time as
legendary
a way
playthrough,
to
I've
solve
completed
all
the
your
trilogy at least 3
problems,
times before. Adept,
keep it
Dragon
ours.
Age 2, Mage. I have never played Mass Effect. Well, I mean, obviously Legendary, but I've never played Mass Effect as an Adept. It's that I've never played as an Adept or a Soldier. I have played as a Soldier, but mostly just to film stuff. Tom, musician, he doesn't play Guitar Hero. I know, I like both your names, actually. So, yeah, I like them both. Much more creative than I am.
Dorian, there's a letter you need to see.
A letter?
Yeah, I'm not
Is
going
it
to
a
lie to my
naughty
friend
letter?
here.
A humorous proposal from some Antivan dowager?
Not quite. It's from your father.
From my father. I see. And what does Magister Hallward want, pray tell?
A meeting.
Show me this letter. I know my son? What my father knows of me would barely fill a thimble. This is so typical. I'm willing to bet this retainer is a henchman, hired to knock me on the head and drag me back to Tevinter.
You think your father would actually do that?
No, although I wouldn't put it past him. Let's go.
I love playing an Adeptus
Let's
harder
meet
early
this
game, but you
so-called
become a
family
space magic god
retainer.
at the end.
If it's a trap, we escape and kill everyone.
Yeah, I
You're
never
good
lied
at
to
that.
Dorian either.
If it's not, I send the man back
Bronco.
to my father with a message that he can stick his alarm in his wit's end.
There seems to be bad blood between you and your family.
Interesting turn of phrase. But you're correct. They don't care for my choices, nor I for theirs.
Because you wouldn't get married? Because you left?
That too.
I think you should meet with this retainer. Find out what your family wants.
I didn't ask what you thought, did I?
Ouch.
That was unworthy. I apologize. There'd be no harm in hearing what this man of my father's has to say. If I don't like it, however, I want to leave.
That works for me.
I wonder how much my father paid this man to wait around just in case I showed. We'll find out soon enough.
You always played an adept no matter how many times I can't face. That makes me laugh, Bronco, because I have that same problem. In fact, I've put up memes to that effect before. I keep saying I'm not going to play as a mage, not going to play Dragon Age as a mage anymore. Always play as a mage. Then Mass Effect, I'm always playing as either an infiltrator or vanguard. Excuse me, an infiltrator or sentinel. I never managed to move past those two game styles, and I always romance the same people. Here she is. Here she is finally up in her fancy little area up here where she has zero privacy, but a beautiful fainting couch.
Yes?
Yes. Well, might as well go
Do you
for...
think that you and I might someday...
Very sweet of you to ask, but no.
You know what I like about Vivienne? She doesn't even explain. She says, ha ha ha, no. Gotta respect people like that. Never played this far enough to get all these companions, but I gotta say, I don't like anyone but Sarah. Never played this far. I'm at the very beginning still. Having said that, though,
Worship?
I need to go and do some errands. I mean, go do some missions instead of just
how about
standing around here. I don't think I can get into this church. No, I can't. Sorry, you guys. I'm going to make you dizzy. I'm going to make you motion sickness with my running around. Dress warmly, son. Should I send you a blanket?
Fertile ground even here. This cold has everything.
Antonio, infiltrator on insanity is for just about anything other soldier is hard for me. I don't know. I've never played Mass Effect. All these things I've never done. I've never played Mass Effect on insanity. Pure Mage, do you use the mod that gives you all specializations? A little OP, but really fun. I don't use that. I've used the only god mods I've ever really used are like Infinite Money and stuff like that, or making more advanced armor and stuff available early game. Although I've played the game enough times now that I have the schematics for just about everything. But usually my mods are all vanity mods, like or convenience mods. Like I always use the no waiting at the war table. I'm really spoiled by that one. No waiting for missions at the war table. And then other ones are like face mods and hair mods. I think Mass Effect Soldier is awesome as well, Shar, but I just think people should try out other specializations. Bronco always specializes the same person. Yes, Liara in Mass Effect and Sarah in Dragon Age Inquisition. I have to say I'm kind of the same way. Today, this game, I'm gonna romance Solus, as I've said about many times. I keep having to remind myself I'm not gonna romance Colin.
Inquisitor, Elan Vimar. Honoured to represent the College of Herbalists and offer my services as apothecary. I intend to carry on the work of my esteemed colleague, Adan. He thought highly of you. He will be missed.
God, all these people I did not save at Haven. I feel like a total schmuck.
The enemy took a toll at Haven. It's an unfortunate loss.
He'd probably sneer at the
You prefer a
sentiment and say,
soldier at Mass
"Get back
Effect
to
because of the
work."
weapon use restrictions.
So, we
Yeah.
shall. All the mundane
But I
needs
like
of
the sniper
Skyrim
rifle.
will
It's
be
my
well
favorite
tended.
weapon, so
If you
I
note
do
anything
Infiltrator a
special,
lot for that
Let me
reason.
know. I'm here to serve the cause we must.
I like everyone but Vivienne. I'm lukewarm on Blackwall. Kind of depends on how I feel that day. I'm exactly the same way, Crystal. I don't mind Vivienne. I like her forthrightness. I just think she's kind of a hard ass. I mean, she needs to be, I think, well, we've talked about this. Vivienne's a little hard for me. Blackwall just doesn't do anything for me one way or another. Mickey has played all 6 classes in Vanguard. In Mass Effect, Vanguard and Soldier are your favorites. So you like the tanky kind of stuff. I tend to like at range fighting, which is why I like to be a sniper. I've actually never really played a tank in most games. I mean, I don't love tanking. I like I said, I like range. Oh, the church won't open yet. I like range fighting better. So I don't think that'll open either. No, it won't. You are nobody. Okay, let's go run a couple missions. I've looked at the church. I don't think Mother Giselle has anything to say to me specifically.
Inquisitor, you have finally come into your own. The Maker has put you on a difficult path. I pray you walk it safely.
Many people interpreted Solus's romance as asexual. I never saw it that way, but initially, but it fits. You're going to have to elaborate. I mean, I know what the word asexual means, but you're going to have to elaborate on that a little bit. Crystal says, I loved Vanguard and Andromeda because with the jetpack, you can scoot out of the way if things get hairy. I'm curious about Vanguard and Mass Effect, but there's no quick way out. I love the jump jets in Andromeda.
I'll do my best.
I
to
think
earn
that's a really
this.
fun part of the gameplay.
You earned this in Haven.
Yeah,
The
Kaye
Maker has chosen
Demos.
you to
Kaye Demos.
deliver us from
Many people
Corypheus.
interpreted shows. Yeah,
You have the faith and
I
support
don't interpret it
of
that way, but
everyone here. Never forget that.
you mean
Now,
because there's so little
Was there
physical
anything
interaction?
else?
You're gonna. Oh, Melanie's gonna romance Cullen. Cullen's my favorite romance.
Can you tell me anything about Corypheus?
I know nothing of the man personally, but the Chant of Light speaks of what he claims to be.
I just like
No
Cullen.
matter all the
He's
power,
dependable.
the
He's
triumphs,
loyal.
the
He's a
mage
little bit
lords of the winter
goofy.
were men doomed to die. Then a voice whispered within their hearts.
But I'm going to do Solus this
"Shall
time.
you surrender your
Solus
power
because
to time like the beasts?
I'm really looking forward to playing
You
Trespasser
are the
again. I
lords
haven't
of the
played that.
earth.
I haven't played Trespasser since
Go
that
forth
DLC
to
first
claim the
dropped.
empty
So it's
throne
been
of
several
heaven
years,
and
and
be
it's a
gods.
really good DLC.
That was one of the old gods speaking in their dreams.
Yes, Dumat, as I understand it. In secret, they worked magic upon
Team
magic.
Josie.
All their power and all their vanity they turned against the veil.
Bronco
Until
never
at
plays
last
with
it
Vivian
gave
because he
way.
can't stand her. That's funny. Asexual players see themselves in Solus's romance, and I understand it's a favorite in that community. I guess I can understand that because it's the least. I mean, none of them are very sexual, but it's the least of this. If you want to use the word sexual, he's the least of all of them, I guess. I mean, certainly far less than like Dorian or Iron Bull, but I don't think it's an asexual romance. I just think that he's very conflicted, and it's not the first place his mind goes, which is fine. Not everybody's
That
focused on
sounds
that.
like what happened with the breach.
Very similar, Inquisitor. Above them, a
But that's
river
the
of
beauty of
light.
these games, right?
Before
You
them,
can
the throne of heaven
interpret
waiting.
them the way you want because
Beneath
it's your
their
personal
feet,
experience.
The footprints of the Maker, and all around them echoed a
I've
vast
never not
silence.
recruited her, Doug.
But
That's
when they took a
interesting.
single step toward the empty throne, a great voice cried out.
Shar says
shaking
the
the
combo
very
classes suck in Mass
foundations
Effect
of
when they're
heaven
nerfed,
and
not
earth.
good at either skill, but they're definitely more fun to play in Mass Effect 2. I would agree with that. Mass Effect 1 is hard. I mean, it's a lot easier in the Legendary Edition.
Corypheus said he found only chaos and corruption.
Chant of Light says that it was beautiful until the Maker himself spoke. And so is the Golden City blackened with each step you take in my hall. Marvel at perfection, for it is fleeting. You have brought sin to heaven and doom upon all the world.
Corypheus seemed so certain
They
that he
have
heard
very
nothing.
well
He
developed religious
described it
themes
as
in this
dead
game.
whispers.
Bitterness, perhaps? He paid a high price for his crime. Violently were they cast down, for no mortal may
I agree,
walk
Crystal.
bodily in
They
the
weren't trying to
realm
make a
of
new game.
dreams, bearing the mark of their crime.
And it's definitely fun to play now. It really is. I mean, I've only played prior to Legendary coming out. I'd only played once or twice because it just not because I didn't love the story, but because the gameplay is just like
Walking
the
bodily
elevators.
in
Oh
the
my
realm
God,
of dreams
5-minute
is
elevator
exactly
to get
what
anywhere.
Corypheus said he did. But the mark, could it be related to the mark I bear?
I cannot say. Perhaps Andraste saw clearly and we misinterpreted her words.
I don't
It was
remember having
always
trouble
thought
with
that
the
the mark
sniper.
they bore
I
was
mean,
the
but it's,
shape of
it's been a lot.
Darkspawn.
It's been several years.
Bodies so maimed and distorted that none should see them and know them for men. That is all I know of your adversary, Inquisitor.
Kali Demos. My very first playthrough of Origins, I missed recruiting Liliana. I didn't even realize I was more than halfway through. That's amazing that you can. Oh, that would suck. She's such a pivotal character.
Some of the
Oh my
chant of light
gosh.
describes what we've seen and what Corypheus said, but not all of it.
The chant of light is the work of mankind. We of all people must accept that
Wow.
mankind is fallible.
How does that game even play out if you
Listeners may
don't
have misheard
recruit
one
her?
of Andraste's songs.
That's
Just
actually
one
an
word
interesting. I'll
sung
have to look. I'm sure
incorrectly
there's
could
stuff on
change
YouTube. Somebody's
everything.
covered absolutely everything on YouTube, but
Nurses were
I wonder what
stricken
happens
or
if you don't
changed
recruit
for
her. Does she
foolish
just show
political
up
reasons,
in
like the
later on?
Canticle
I
of
don't get it.
Shartan. Still, I would trust these words over any spoken by Corypheus. I hope they help you.
I know. I agree with you, Mickey. All right, let's see what we got to get done here. Look at all this stuff that's piling up on me because I'm talking so much. Oh, I got to go to the bear. Let's go do that, and then we'll go do some Wicked Eyes. We're not ready for that yet. Specializations. Seek out the... Oh, I need to get the trainers. Oh, you guys, I have to decide what my specialty is going to be, too. Oh, I got to bring... There's a lot of... I got a lot of stuff to do. I should probably take care of some of these, get everybody's loyalty going. All right, let's go unlock the trainers, and then let's go do some loyalty stuff. Ugh, got a hair in my mouth. You played Mass Effect Legendary 3 times. I have not finished it 3 times. I have not finished it. I finished each game. No, I haven't. I finished Mass Effect 3, but I've played that game a lot. 2, I'm in right now. Although, I'm not playing it currently. I'll go back to it in a few weeks.
Thanks for my life in Haven. You've all sorts serving now. That
You know,
means
of everybody who
change.
had to survive,
it.
Adon didn't survive, but Thren, who I don't like, did. Oh, there's the church. I was at the wrong place. Okay, back to the war room, people. Oh, wait a minute. Let me plant some seeds. Too many things to happen in this game. It's not hard to see why you end up spending so many bloody hours in this game. There's just new... every time you turn around, there's some other little thing you got to do. Hello, everyone. Let's go back to the war table, get my trainers, start going and doing loyalty missions. Oh, I missed somebody leaving. Sorry, Brian, if you're still there. Nice to see you. See you later. Bronco says, always have to recruit everyone to get all companions to do side quests. 100% complete. Always seem to use same companions in my party. Sarah and Iron Bull for the banter. And Varric, of course. Yeah, Sarah and Iron Bull are great banter. Oh, Brian, have to go and cook. See you soon. You're probably already gone, but it was nice to see you, Brian. I agree, Shar. I agree. You should recruit everyone you can. I mean, obviously people miss things sometimes, but you should recruit everyone you can. You don't have to use them if you really don't like them. I don't use Vivienne a lot, even though I've heard that she's a pretty good party member. I ugly cried through a good portion of Mass Effect 3. I played over Must Be a Mask. No, there's certain scenes in those games that I've seen a lot of times, and they still get me all emotional. Oh, I don't think I can do any of these yet. I'm using all my people. All my people are doing chores for me.
Discussed earlier, Ambassador.
I found the money. The Inquisition will compensate the families of those we lost at Haven.
Thank you.
Yeah, can't do it. All right, let's go do a couple loyalty missions. I think it was antagonistic last week, or was it somebody in chat last week suggested I should read The Calling, because we were talking about the fact that Fiona is Alistair's mother, which I didn't realize. And I'm about halfway through it now.
Worship.
I had it on my Kindle or on my Apple books, right sitting in the library. Just hadn't read it. All right. Can't do any of that stuff yet, so we can do some of the inner circle ones. Bring Dorian to the Gullen Lantern. Should we do that one, you guys? Venatori kill with Dorian. Sarah says there's trouble in Vershelle. All new fate of her. Should we do Solus's or Dorian's? You know, it's funny you say that. Let's see. Let me back up so I can see the. What ending do you choose at the Mass Effect 3? I always destroy the Reapers. Have never actually chosen the other two possible endings. Oh, Doug. Yeah, I've heard that there's a build for Viv that it makes her an absolute killer. I just don't like her that much. Okay, seen a little while, Melanie. My very first playthrough of Mass Effect, I didn't have enough Paragon or Renegade to save Rex, so I started the entire game over to have to choose between Ash and... Oh, God, I know. The first time you play, I mean, you can only have that experience once. The first time you play, oh, my gosh. The first time I played, I didn't save Rex either, but I didn't understand some of the choices. So, yeah, I didn't mean to lose him, but I did. And then... one of the most impactful scenes for me in all three games, just because I remember my shock, was the opening sequence of Mass Effect 2. I just remember I have rarely in a game been so sort of, I did not expect what happened. I remember sitting back and going, what just happened? But in terms of what ending I choose, I've actually got videos up about this. So anybody who's watched my videos knows what ending I prefer. And I always choose Destroy. Because I have issues with both synthesis and control. And I believe, based on the lore, people disagree about this, but I believe based on the lore that Edie and the Geth can be recreated, because the Star Child specifically says to Shepard when he's giving him the options that all synthetics will be destroyed, and then including you yourself have some synthetics. And then he immediately says right after that, although you can... Now I'm going to draw a blank because I can't remember his exact wording, but he basically says, although you can rebuild them. And because synthetics rely on computer programs, they can be resurrected, quote unquote, whereas organics cannot be resurrected. Once they're done, they're done. So I think that Edie and the Geth can be remade. I mean, it's a problem. It's not easy, but I think it can be done. So that's my interpretation. I don't like the idea of genociding them, Doug, but I don't like the idea of genociding them, but they can be, in my view of the lore, they can be recreated, whereas people can't be recreated. And I don't like the notion of control. I don't like putting that kind of literal God power in one person's hands. And I don't like synthesis because I just think you don't want to kill people off, but you're willing to basically irrevocably alter them on a molecular level without their permission and without their foreknowledge. I just have an issue with that. And you don't know what that could do in the future. I mean, and it bothers me that that's the one that the Star Child wants you to choose. The Star Child pushes you to choose synthesis, and that makes me suspicious of it right off the bat because I don't trust the Star Child. I agree with you that anybody is the sum of her experiences, but that doesn't equal that she can't be, that Edie can't come back and be. I mean, so you're gonna change an entire galaxy of people for one individual, and I don't. To me, that's not a trade-off that's worth it. Edie can come back. She might not have the same exact experiences, but she can be brought back. And I'm not going to weigh her life that heavily against an entire galaxy worth of people. But that's me. I mean, I choose to interpret the lore that way. Other people don't see it that way. I've chosen all but the control any, but mostly destroy. I choose to believe the catalyst is kind of lying. I watched your video and agree with you totally. I just don't trust the catalyst. I don't know why he's pushing that one choice on you. But I do agree with you, Doug. They can be, but as individuals, I do agree with that. Any sentient or sapient being is the sum of their experiences. I do agree with that. So Edie would be a little bit altered, but that doesn't mean she still wouldn't be Edie. Fair enough, though. I suspect the Star Child is author voice insert. Can you elaborate on that a little bit? As a retired soldier, Shar, and I'm not saying they are the same thing, but as I watch YouTube, they are the emotional moments. They can be. But that's the thing, Doug. Control is the choice that the elusive man wants, and synthesis is the choice that the Star Child wants, and destroy has been Shep's mission since the first day of the first game. That's true, Crystal. Anything you choose, it's an emotional and horrible choice. It is completely. I would never want any one person to be put in that position. That's for sure. All right, let's go take Dorian to meet his father. Yeah, it is no way. I don't care if you're sidetracking. I like Mass Effect just as much. I mean, I probably would almost rather be playing Mass Effect, but I felt like there was such an abortive attempt. I started playing Mass Effect, and then I got kind of overwhelmed with streaming, and then the stuff happened with my dad, and then I didn't play Mass Effect at all, and I just felt like I really can't go back to Mass Effect now. It's been out for like 5 months. But I love that game. After fighting them for all 3 games and sacrificing some loved characters, they deserve to be destroyed. Are you talking about the Geth, Bronco? Doug says the push for synthesis always felt like the obvious good choice by author intent is what I meant. And yes, none of the choices are good ones. That's the core. Yeah, it is. But that's what makes it such a fantastic game, is that none of the choices are really good. It's not a romance novel, right? So there's not some unequivocal happy ending. That's what's so good about it. Where's the Dorian one? I want the Dorian one. It's over here. That'll do. On a different note, do I have a P.O. box set up if we wanted to send you something? I don't currently. Hello, Melanie. I don't currently, although I've been considering doing it. So I'll let you know. Now you've piqued my curiosity. Doug says, and yes, I did destroy for my Insanity playthrough. The number of times I died getting there, I was like, screw this, I'm going to pay it back. I really have to do an Insanity playthrough. As you know, you guys have seen me play. I'm not a fantastic player. I'm not a tactics player because it's all story for me. So I would think it would be very frustrating to watch me stream any kind of playthrough on Insanity. Spindleweed. God, I would love a mod that gives you like 5 times as much every time you gather something so that you can do it a lot less. Stay down, stay down. Yes, you know what, Jambo? I almost mentioned that. Destroy is what Anderson wanted. That's good enough for me. Tim wanted control, so there's no way that path, and I don't trust the Star Child. We are 100% on the same page. Shep's mission from day one is to destroy the Reapers. So it would have to be an extremely compelling reason to not follow through with your original intent. That's the way I see it. And then the Star Child tells you that if you use destroy, that the peace won't last, which to me is a contradiction, because if you went the way of peace between the Quarians and the Geth, then you've just shown that peace can be achieved between organics and synthetics. So why? Why is it inevitable that it would happen again? Yeah, normal is what I normally play through on. You're slowly working up to trying hard, but it is intimidating. Oh, wait, we're going to meet in the bar, I think, not the church. Totes me again. Hello, hello. Thank you for coming back. Okay, this group's not going to let me through. I'm having a hard time playing because this chat is so active and it's interesting. Welcome back, Totes. Bronco, Insanity was brutal on Mass Effect 3. Almost broke me. 1 and 2 I did not find so bad. But you know what, Bronco? It must be like people who eat ultra spicy food. I have friends who eat ultra spicy food, and I swear they do not look like they're enjoying themselves. They're practically crying, and yet they keep ordering it. So it must be that same kind of experience. I love this. And their face is all red and they're crying. You found 2 harder than 3. See, you guys, look. Bronco and Antonio and Doug, you guys have all played on Insanity. I've never played on Insanity. Might be kind of interesting, but I think I have a feeling I would end up just rage quitting, honestly. I would just find it frustrating. And since I'm much more interested in this story, I've never even tried. Yes, it's easier, Totes. It's much easier when you know what's going to happen. I do also watch, Crystal. I do also watch Insanity playthroughs. You know what I tell myself, though, when I watch Insanity playthroughs and some people make it look easy? Yes, exactly. I don't think we're seeing the whole picture. I just tell myself, look, these people have played this thing 45 times. It's like when I used to play WoW and you go in some of those dungeons up against some of those bosses. You have to know that fight backwards and forwards before you even do the fight. So there's no such thing as experiencing it the first time. Yeah, I wouldn't want to watch someone get frustrated either. And I know my limitations, right? What am I doing here? I can't remember what I'm doing. Am I supposed to meet somebody here? I'm talking too much. Okay, this is clearly not happening. Get out of my way. All right, apparently Shar, Emmy Insanity levels are just to do them for the challenge. Those games are about the story. Agreed, 100%. I should try Insanity Totes. I find it totally changes the way I experience the game. No running in, guns blazing. I like running in, guns blazing. It's the one time in my life when I feel like I have complete control over what's happening. It's the one place I can be a badass. Okay, I'm confused. I clearly cannot multifunction because I'm trying to figure out why didn't this happen? That's not the one. Bring Dorian to the Golden Lantern. This is the Golden Lantern. What happened?
I'm going to go away if we don't talk
I'm
about
playing
it.
Elder Scrolls Online right now. It's similar to WoW. You have to know the boss's moves to survive and win. Yeah, and people get really butthurt if you go into a dungeon and you don't like know everything right and left. They get really butthurt about it. It's like, can I just one time experience it as a player for the first time? Do I have to watch all the playthroughs and memorize the whole fight? It's just a different mindset nowadays. Antonio, will you play horror games on stream, at least for Halloween? I'm up for playing anything on stream. I love video gaming. I would play pretty much anything that was suggested to me if I thought I wasn't going to make an absolute ass of myself. The only horror game I currently own is Resident Evil, the one with the new one. And I haven't played it. I've loaded it onto my computer, haven't even played it. Oh, no, I also own... I own another one, but I can't remember what it is off the top of my head. You make a suggestion, Antonio. The problem with watching me play a horror game is, you're going to watch me making an ass of myself because I'm getting jump scared all the time. Mickey loves the chat on here, and that makes me happy. For some reason, it keeps monitoring people's chats, and I have to give them permission, and nobody has said anything remotely. Crystal says, I'm on the ME3 Citadel DLC trying to do the mirror match for the achievements. Kicking my ass. I've had to walk away twice. If it's a mirror, why am I not that powerful? The mirror match. I'm drawing a blank. The Citadel DLC. Yeah, I'll have to think about that later. Sharp Victor, MMO maids operations are not as fun as a pug. You almost need to... Yeah, you do. What MMOs do you play, Doug? I love the notion of playing MMOs, but I don't. This is me playing my tiny violin. I don't have any friends. I mean, except for you people, I don't have any friends that play video games. Most of them are people my age who think it's a ginormous waste of time. And my kids are busy because they just, they've just gotten married. They're just starting to start families and, they're building their careers. They're at that age that they just don't have the time to do this kind of stuff. Well, I love Prey. I have played Prey several times, and if you guys, I've played it once all the way through. If you guys consider Prey a horror game, I would love to play that for Halloween because it's one of my favorite games. That one's not really a horror game so much as it is sort of a survival sim, though. Crystal, the cheap way is to dial it down to story difficulty and then put it back up to the minimum when you're dead. Yeah, that's true. Doug has quit WoW 3 times. This time it's probably going to stick. The wife and I have come to an understanding about game time. I'd be curious to hear about your understanding. My husband, we are the opposite in my household. My husband does not play video games at all. I've tried and tried to get him introduced to 1 or 2. He just doesn't stick. He sits on a computer all day long, doesn't want to be on the computer when he's off work, and he's more of an active kind of guy anyway, so he's always the guy outside doing chores and building sheds and whatever. But we've come to an understanding over the years. We've been married a super long time. So I read and I play video games. I really don't watch television. It's the same thing in my book. But WoW is the first game I ever played. My daughter introduced it to me when she was in high school, when she was like 15, and she's turning 30 now. So YouTube is sending me another message that it's got crappy bandwidth. So you tell me if this starts to look bad. Oh, I know which one you're talking about. Yes. I never really do it, to be honest.
The mages and Templars are no longer fighting. It's safer to travel now. We should leave.
No, Toads, that's the sort of thing I do too. Oh, I have. Do I have Alien Isolation?
day.
But I love Prey. Prey has some good jump scares too. It really does. Yeah, and I don't think that's me. I think that's an encoding issue with YouTube because literally nothing has changed on my end. Prey is lovely. I love that game. Shar, I've not much of an MMO player. I'm just going to try chatting with you guys for a few minutes until this thing sorts itself out because I can see that it's bad. It looks frozen, actually. Oh, I'm all over that. I'd love to play Prey. I should start streaming like 3 days a week so that I can finish a playthrough of a game. Like this game is going to be 30 streams just to get this game done. Have a fantastic weekend, Mickey. Lovely for you that you get to see your grandkids. Have a great weekend.
Good day.
I'm having a lot of fun just chatting with you guys. Yeah, and I don't get that because literally nothing has changed. Let me just check my frame rates here again. I have a little speed test thing on my console thing here that will tell me what kind of strength I'm putting out. I think this might be, I don't know, I think it might be a YouTube thing. Antonia, you're pretty, by my standards, you're pretty young, right? Kai, not a fan of shooters. If it weren't for the RPGM, I probably never picked up Mass Effect 3. It's painful me because they thrashed those elements. Bye, Mickey. I'm not a fan of hardcore shooters where there's no story. That just doesn't do anything for me. But I have to admit, in a game where I'm already attached to the story, I like shooting. I like shooting people in the face under the right circumstances. Well, I don't know if it's YouTube or not, but my thing says I've got very good signal going out. But YouTube is definitely telling me that it's not good signal. Or maybe it's my cable company. Who knows? It could be I'm on fiber optic here, but yes, there are many things beyond my control, but too many of them seem to happen to me pretty frequently. It's very annoying. Yeah, Fallout 1 and 2 versus... Okay, now now this cutscene triggered. Oh, God, you guys, I can see on your end it looks terrible now. I can see.
Uh-oh, nobody's here. This doesn't bode well.
Dorian.
Father. So the whole story about the family retainer was just...
Roshia, hello.
Smokescreen? Then you were told. I apologize for the deception, Inquisitor. I never intended for you to be involved.
I'm going to let this cutscene play, and then we'll just chat for a little bit till the signal
Magister
improves.
Parvus couldn't come to Skyhold and be seen with the dread Inquisitor. What would people think? What is this exactly, Father?
Hello.
Ambush? Kidnapping? A warm family reunion?
This is how it has always been.
You went through all of this to get Dorian here. Talk to him.
Yes, Father. Talk to me. Let me hear how
I think
mystified
Dorian
you are
likes
by
his
my
own
anger.
haircut.
Dorian, there's no need to.
I prefer the company of men. My father disapproves.
The company of men? Can you help me understand what you mean?
So that's what all of this is about? Who you sleep with?
That's not all it's about.
Dorian, please.
That's funny, Duchess,
If
if
you'll
it
only
looks and
listen to
sounds
me.
great now because YouTube is
So you
still
can
telling
spout
me that
more
it's crappy.
convenient lies?
So we'll see when we're out of this cutscene what happens.
He
My
taught me
boyfriend's
to
hair
hate
is
blood
perfect.
magic. The
I knew
resort of
somebody
the
was
weak
going to say
mind.
something about that.
Those are his words. But what was
Don't
the
pick on
first thing you
Dorian.
did when your precious heir refused to play pretend for the rest of his life? You tried to change me.
He only wanted what was best for you.
You wanted the best for you. Your fucking legacy. Anything for that.
Don't
I'm a
leave it
parent,
like
so
this, Dorian.
I'm a
You'll
parent,
never
so I want him
forgive
to work it out
yourself.
with his parents. PC rules.
Tell me why you came.
If I knew, I would drive you to the Inquisition.
You didn't. I joined the Inquisition because it's the right thing to do. Once, I had a father who would have known that.
Look, the dad's got some misguided beliefs, but you can't say he's not
Once
trying.
I had a son who trusted me, a trust I betrayed. I only wanted to talk to him, to hear his voice again, to ask him to forgive me.
Go on. Go on. Talk to your dad. Melanie, 39, but I'll be 40 next year. I still play games on Xbox. Sorry, Sean, my old bones like the couch lar TV. Oh, we talked about this. It drives me nuts, you guys. I need to figure out a way to sit on the couch. I am turning 58 the day after tomorrow. 58!
He says we're alike. Too much pride. Once I would have been overjoyed to hear him say that. Now I'm not certain. I don't know if I can forgive him.
Well, you should.
Maybe if you keep working at it, keep
Yeah,
talking.
Mass Effect daddy
It was a
issues,
start,
yeah.
at least. Thank you for bringing me out there.
I think you
wasn't
do have
what
to
I
cut the
expected,
parents some
but
slack, not to get political.
it's
But, you know, a parent has to
Maker knows
readjust
what you
all
must
of their
think of me now,
expectations for what,
after that
you know,
whole
grandkids
display.
and everything else that they think are going to... They just... Parents have to... I get it, is all I'm saying. I'm not saying it's right, but I get it. You led me on. I'm hardly going to say that.
I think you're very brave.
Brave?
Bronco,
It's not easy
never
to
been a
abandon
PC gamer,
tradition
always
and
been
walk your
console
own
player.
path.
PS5, he says.
At any rate, time to drink myself into a stupor. It's been that sort of day.
Yes.
Join me
I
sometime.
have those kind of days, too.
If you've a mind.
And now
I don't
have...
know what you think you're doing.
I'm being clacked at by a hen, evidently.
Don't play the fool with me, young man.
If I wanted to play the fool, I could be rather more convincing, I assure you.
Your glib tongue does you no credit.
You'd be surprised at the credit my tongue gets me, Reverence.
Mother Giselle, you are in the wrong here. Interestingly, Dorian's not even standing here, so I don't know who she's arguing with. Oh, is he in the bar? Is Dorian in the bar right now?
Good afternoon.
Being a parent should change your life. Nothing to apologize for. Oh my God, you ordered it last October? I know, for a second I was going to tease him about humble bragging. Oh, I'm sorry, Melanie. 39, that's so young. All right, now I have to scroll back because Doug is talking about something that I missed. And I might have that trouble too, Doug. I've never played sitting on a couch, ever. Okay, I missed whatever Doug said about showing something to his daughter. But I am awfully sorry, Melanie, to hear about your brother.
I'd like to hear more about what you saw in your exploration of the Fade.
I would be happy to share it with you.
Tell me about a spirit you encountered.
The Alamari crossed the Frostback Mountains to escape a beast they called the Shadow Goddess in their story. I met the spirit that they fled. She walks the fade along the southern tundra, weeping alone.
Yeah, I don't think Solus is asexual. I think he's one of those people that's, you know, still waters, blah, blah, blah. I think that he is very reserved, but there's an enormous depth of feeling there. I like that about him,
the old
actually.
ruins you explored.
Oh, we're coming out. Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, I missed the beginning of that.
An earthquake had exposed it all to daylight. 1,000 dwarven corpses lay, the victims of a dark-spawn horde. Their last stand marked by one great ring of armor. In the middle, one small body, clutching tightly to a small stuffed toy.
Antonio, playing on a couch does is increase comfort while also increasing back problems. That could be true, but I'll never know.
Tell me about the old memories you found in the Fade.
Saw a dwarf emerge into the light of day and shield his eyes against the sun. First time he'd seen it, tears were streaming from his eyes.
Yeah, I mean,
saw
I always
them
think
from
as
the
a
blazing
parent,
light, until I saw the rock he held
you
so
find
tightly.
out sometimes difficult
He laid the
things,
rock down
and
gently,
I'm going to qualify the
and he
word
left
difficult,
it
but
as
you
he
find
walked
out
away.
sometimes difficult things about your kids, and you have to be so careful how you respond because you can
We'll
say
talk
things
later.
that to you is a throwaway comment, and but they will never forget it. They will never forget it. And by difficult, I meant difficult for you to accept because it changes your perceptions of them, and you're forced to make. You're forced to see them in a different light.
Weird with words, too.
And that's hard. Well, we should probably go help Solus do his. No, Solus is not really who he portrays himself to be. He's kind of lies by omission. Let's see. Where do I have to go to help Solus? Is it... Oh, I have to open up. Let's go to the Storm Coast. There's stuff to do on the Storm Coast. We'll just run around killing things on the Storm Coast. Open up my camps. Sorry, Solus is not horny, Geralt. Sorry, you guys. Yeah, exactly, Doug. Important thing. Those are the most important things. Still my kid, still proud of who she is. Exactly. I just think sometimes in the moment, and I'm not talking to you personally, I'm talking about just making an extreme generalization here. I just think sometimes in the moment it can be difficult to respond in the right way, and you can get yourself in real trouble with your kids because they won't forgive you for something that you said when you were still trying to get your head around something. But, so many of us are parents, and we all know how fallible parents can be. Let's see. Oh, I really need to start taking Solus places because I'm supposed to be... I'm going to take Solus instead. Did I just pass Solus? All right, Sarah, Iron Bull. I've never tried this combination. I'll do these guys. You have to go to work calls. Boo! Have a fantastic day, Duchess. I have health issues. I'm sorry you have health issues. That's a bummer. I don't use a recliner not because of health issues, but because I'm crap with one, as I've told you guys before.
Inquisitor.
I'm trying to learn how to play one.
Nothing to report, sir.
Oh, God, nothing to report, nothing to report. It means I need to do a lot of gathering so that there's more to report. All right, I don't care about it, you guys. It's raining on the Storm Coast, of course. Sarah and Iron Bull do have wonderful dialogue. My subtle flex, got to compensate for not having a gaming PC. Well, I don't have a PS5 and I have an Xbox that's, I mean, super old. Oop, everybody needs to be... Don't attack us, people. Oops, that was not what I want. Don't attack us, people. I got points to allocate. I'm just going to do it the quick way. Yeah, you don't need to attack me. You need to attack Iron Bull. Oh, he's dead. Nicely done, Bull. You know, Bull looks good in this outfit, and you guys were right. He fights pretty good with sword and board. All right, where are the camps I need to open up? Let's go this way. Oh, for God's sakes. Bronco, stop causing me problems. Now, see, YouTube's telling me I have an excellent connection. So stop being naughty, Bronco. You can call me either one, but you could definitely allowed to call me Diana if you prefer. Beware of falling rocks. Ha ha ha. Okay, now it's telling me that I have bad signal. It's all right. I was just teasing you. And actually, I just got an update from YouTube that now it's having trouble. It says it's having trouble buffering the signal. Look how good Iron Bull looks, though, really. The Iron Dragon. Look how good the Iron Dragon looks. All right, well, let's just hang out here for a minute. Did I read about how the Frostbite engine was responsible for the development hell? And yes, I did have read about that. Yeah. I'm not real into the technical end of that kind of stuff, but I've read some articles about the different engines they're talking about using for the next Mass Effect and the next Dragon Age. Well, the next Dragon Age one, I imagine they've already determined because that game's coming out in, what, a year? Okay, now it says I have an excellent connection. So if I don't move, I have a great connection, you guys. Great. I wonder if I start moving, if it'll go bad again. The streamer last night was having the same issue, locked his frame rate at 60 F. I think I am locked, actually. Let me just check. Hang on, you guys. I'm just going to check and see what it's locked at. I think it is locked, though. I think I have mine set at 48 frames per second, to be honest, because I was trying to avoid this very problem. Let me just look. Hopefully I don't cut you guys off while I'm digging around with the software here. Yeah, I have mine set at 48. So that really should not be the problem. Yeah, see, hello, Casey. That's the thing. I don't move. I can't move. So I can't really play, but we can chat. Storm Coast is such an interesting area. It's very desolate, but it's really well done, I think. Oh, I've been here. I remember climbing on top of this building. Oh, you guys, it's so choppy looking. Yeah, super choppy looking. What do we all expect from the next Dragon Age? Well, like I said in my video, I don't think that Solus is the ultimate bad guy in the next one. I think he's going to be on a redemption arc. And maybe that's me hopeful. That may just me be hopeful talking. Yeah, if I don't move, it's fine. I know what happened. I'm sorry you're having trouble. It's frustrating. Frustrating. I mean, like the settings are the same. I'm doing the same settings as I used last week, and everything was smooth as butter last week. So I don't know. And my internet signal appears to be strong when I check it on my little console thing here. But I can see now looking at YouTube that it's bad. Disappointment for very high expectations. Don't be such a pessimist, Antonio. You're too young to be such a pessimist. Ha ha. I don't know. What do you guys think? I can't lock it. I may try locking it next time, Crystal, at 30. But I can't lock it while the stream's on. It won't let me adjust. Shar, I'm afraid for the next Dragon Age because of what we've heard about the development. I know. I just really hope they bring back origin story playthroughs. I really hope they bring back individualized starting storylines. I loved that about Origins. I know another streamer. Hi, Loveless. I know there's to stop using YouTube recently because of the lag. I don't know why the face cam would make a difference. I really don't. It went off and I would have had to, and I knew how to fix it, but I would have had to cut the stream off and then start it up again in order to get the camera, sort of to get it to acknowledge the camera again. I didn't want to do that last week. Yeah, I've considered streaming on Twitch, but I don't know. I feel like I'm making inroads on YouTube, as little as those inroads are. I feel like I'm making inroads on YouTube, and I feel like I'd be starting totally over on a completely different form if I started doing it on Twitch. But I have been watching another streamer she's just passed me up, but she was smaller than me, but she's been on Twitch for about 3 years. And she does her streams on Twitch, and then she basically just downloads them as VODs to YouTube, and that seems to work really well for her. And Twitch is definitely, I mean, that's their thing. That's what they do. So I understand it's a very smooth and good system. I've just never done it. I know. I'm willing to use Twitch. I have a Twitch account already. I mean, if you look me up on Twitch, I have a channel there, but I've just never done anything with it. You guys would have to all come over to Twitch though, and I've always kind of thought, now you can tell me if I'm right or wrong. I've always kind of thought that people who are sort of in my age demographic, or not under 30, maybe it's a better way to put it, would not necessarily be on Twitch. Is that a stupid thing to think? Antonio's only 18. Did I miss where he said that? Where did you pick up that depressive realism? He's apparently been exposed to the real world. You have to be optimistic when you're young. God knows it gets harder to be optimistic when you're older. Not really. I mean, kind of really, but I think it all depends on what outlook you're determined to preserve for yourself. Yeah, I can't move around, you guys, because it's just completely screwed up. Crystal says, I'm so glad they removed the live service elements and extended the release date until 2023. I'll wait as long as they need for a good game. Twitch is only streaming. I think I agree with that. I agree that YouTube is a better forum to develop a following. I do think I think almost maybe what the perfect formula would be for somebody, and I think maybe some big streamers do this, is to do the streaming on Twitch and then make sure you have YouTube videos, like straight up videos, and download VODs from Twitch onto your YouTube page. Crystal, I know exactly what you're talking about. The first couple times I went to Twitch, I just was like, I know it makes me sound old. I just like, I don't get this. I don't understand why this is appealing to people. In some ways I still don't, but I do look at Twitch regularly because it gives me some indication of what kind of things people are watching. You have yet to follow anyone there despite interest. I'm just uncertain about it. It just feels like it's adding another element into what I'm doing. I've had other people tell me I should be doing it on Twitch. But I'm a teeny, teeny, teeny little fish in an enormous ocean anyway. But I've kind of always counted, here I'm telling you all this behind the scenes thinking now, but I've always kind of figured that because of my age, etc., that I'm not going to naturally draw any kind of audience. So people have to like me for my videos and then decide to watch a live stream. That's sort of been my thinking. And maybe I'm not right about that. I don't know. I'm not a supernaturally, I'm not really flamboyant, et cetera, et cetera. So I'm not going to draw an audience because I'm acting in a certain way that people like to watch something outlandish. That's just not me. Loveless. Yeah, I do know a lot of streamers who watch Twitch and VOD. Yeah. I'm old, but I've gotten used to Twitch. I have gotten more used to it now.
You ever had any interest in learning magic, Sarah?
Get off.
While it has not manifested naturally, there are ways to determine whether arcane gifts lie dormant within you.
What? Don't make me think about that. I have to sleep at night.
Sleeping would give you the chance to explore the Fade. I could introduce you to spirits.
Right, you're messing with me on purpose.
Why would I do that? It is not as though I know who filled my bedroll with lizards.
Fair point. That was pretty good.
That's funny. Bye, Melanie. Totes. Most of my favorite things are from the 80s, 90s. That's why I feel like I missed out. Like a flip phone. There are a lot of successful YouTube streamers out there. There are. I don't know how many of them are people who started on YouTube or how many of those people are Twitch people who came over to YouTube. I suspect a lot of the big ones are Twitch people who came over to YouTube. But there are some really big, successful YouTube streamers out there. That's for sure. If this signal doesn't get better, I'm not going to be one of them. Because look, it's like completely shitty, or excuse my language, it's completely crappy signal. Quality over quantity. TK fam, thank you for saying that. I'm afraid to move now though, because I think that the signal is terrible. In fact, I think it might be frozen. We need more representation on Twitch other than these 20-year-olds. I feel like most people I see on Twitch are natural performers. I kind of agree with that. I think the people who are successful are obviously natural performers, but there are a lot of people on Twitch who are, I'm sorry, they're boring as hell. I mean, they just are. They have no career. I might be one of them. I mean, I'm not trying to make any kind of claims here. I'm just saying, I think a lot of people on Twitch are like, you watch them and you're just thinking, why would I watch this person? But the ones who are successful definitely are natural performers. I agree with you, Casey. I don't understand the monetization of YouTube, whereas Twitch monetization makes a little more sense to me. I don't know about Twitch monetization because I haven't tried to do anything on Twitch other than I have everything hooked up. So I could broadcast from Twitch right now if I wanted to because I have everything hooked up to do it. I've just never done it. But YouTube's monetization comes primarily out of AdSense and whatever sponsorships you get. That's my impression. The big streamers probably get a lot of tips and whatnot in stream, but I think it takes a long time to build that up. A long time. I agree, Shar. That's the kind of been my thinking watching certain streamers saying that Twitch is going to have to evolve or it's going to eventually die off as YouTube increases and betters its service. Don't give up, Diana. This is out of your control and you're still entertaining us. I appreciate that. It's just frustrating to me because I don't know how to fix this and I think it's frozen. See, I'm now moving. We'll see how long it takes for your version to be moving. I'm all the way down at the bottom of the hill. And now I'm trying to wait for the stream to catch up. Yeah, it's not giving me any ways to fix it. A lot of pandering content. Oh, and TK Fam said something I was going to respond to, and then I got sidetracked there for a second. Let me just scroll back real quick. You're an 80s kid. I guess if you're talking year of birth, I'm a 60s kid, but I graduated high school in the 80s. I mean, I was born in 63 in the 80s. I was born in 63. I graduated high school in 82. Used to listen to party dialogues. That's about 5 hours long. Yeah, most are boring. I have a few I follow from the YouTube. I have a couple I follow from here. I really don't watch Twitch much, but a couple I follow from here that are interesting, and I like to see what they're doing on their streams just because I find them interesting. My screen is completely frozen because I'm standing at the bottom of the hill now, and I've been waiting for the stream to catch up, and it's not. So we're just going to chat for a minute until YouTube tells me we have a better signal. And hopefully you guys are okay with that. Casey, so many Twitch streamers just think they're going to stream and have all these viewers, but they put zero effort. They don't talk. Yeah, exactly. I have to be honest too. The reason I'm probably telling you guys just like way too much. I probably should be trying to build some sort of persona, but it's just not my personality to do that. The first time I contemplated streaming, and even after I had streamed a few times, I just thought the notion of trying to talk to people I don't know, I'm already an introvert. This is just going to be an agony. But it's actually gotten easier and easier because you guys are so nice. Yeah, you know what? Mine, I can see that it's frozen. Even on my end now, I can see that it's frozen because the monitoring version it's putting back at me is frozen. Most of us most likely don't have blah, blah, blah. It's cool. And it's blacked out? Really? Okay, so I think you guys are frozen. But I would have to basically try to start the stream over again. Well, I'm definitely going to have to do some more research on my end now to try to figure. I have a good CPU. I have a good motherboard, a good processor. So I don't think it's the problem with my signal I'm putting. And I have a gig internet speed coming in and out of my house. So I don't think it's on my end. But I will go through my settings again. Is my face cam frozen? So you're getting my voice, only my lovely voice. That's all you can hear. That's great. So my only option, can you hear me, guys? Can you guys hear me? Better build mom a better streaming setup. Hey, get those tips and super chats coming in so that I can get a better, I don't know what I need that's better. My son-in-law's an IT guy, so he as soon as I can, when I do have enough money, I'm going to have him build me one. I built the one I have myself. Do you want me to cut off and restart? Why don't I cut off and restart? I don't mind. I don't mind doing it if you guys don't mind the hassle. I mean, it's kind of a hassle. Maybe, why don't I try ending the stream and then starting it up again? Are you guys game for that? It's hard, Casey, to get started. Oh, just my lovely voice. I appreciate you saying that. Okay, I'm going to hit the end on the stream and I'm going to restart it. That will take probably 30 seconds or so. I appreciate you guys. Maybe start a singing channel. That's funny. I could, but I'd be singing songs people recognize and then I'd probably get a copyright strike. I think my hardware is fine too, Shar, especially if you're a tech geek. I have my least good piece is I have a NVIDIA 1070 graphics card, which is better than a lot of people's graphics card, but I just haven't been able to find a 3080 at a price I'm willing to pay yet. But I have a 5850X Ryzen CPU and the Gigabyte Aorus motherboard that is recommended to go with it. So I have 32 gigs of memory. So I don't think my system is really the issue. I don't think it is. And whatever. Anyway. Some YouTube streams are chatting. Hang on. I lost that comment. Some YouTube streamers have chatting streams where they just talk with their viewers. I enjoy that too. So you could just shut the game down and chat and we'd be good. I could do that. I can shut the game down. Hang on 1 second. Actually, let's try that and see if it works. Let me just switch over really quick. I mean, what the hell? Okay, hold on. This might take a little bit of goofing around if I shut the game down. Kumbaya. I can't watch stream frame after frame is running by. It's like playing a game on an old computer which can't handle the game property. Yeah, that's super frustrating, and that is definitely not the problem with my computer. The game is back, and it's moving. Yeah, I just got another message from YouTube saying the stream is healthy, and I didn't do anything. I did nothing. Oh, I'm at the bottom of the hill, I see on YouTube too. Yeah, I think my gear is fine. I'm going to see now if I move on the screen on the monitor. It does keep skipping frames, though. I can see that it's skipping frames. Yeah, you guys, I think it's frozen because I'm in the middle of I'm fighting those two guys down the beach. I'm actually fighting them right now, and you can't see it. I think it's frozen. I don't know what to use other than OBS, though. I mean, like Crystal keeps saying, there's a lot of moving parts when you think about it. Yeah, you guys are totally lagging. I'm finished with a gun. I just killed those two people on the beach, and you guys haven't seen any of it. Okay. ISP shenanigans. It's glitchy. Glitchy.
I locked you over the front ranks.
Okay, 1 second, you guys.
Mayhem ensues.
Maybe I can switch over to talking.
One small enough.
Yeah, it's terrible. This is a terrible signal. I can see it on the monitor now how bad it is. And YouTube's telling me the signal's excellent, but that looks terrible. Let me switch over to the top see if this works. Just 1 sec, you guys. Bandicam. Isn't Bandicam super old? The signal's excellent, but that looks terrible. Now, now you can see my face huge with my computer glasses on. Thanks for coming by, Loveless. Thank you. I'm going to shut the game down because it's really frustrating to me. You can't see anything. There are different OBS programs. Might be looking into them. I think your hardware is finding a connection to YouTube, but there are more servers in between you and us. That's true. I mean, that could be part of it. Now, see, I know. Not that I meant to go on Facecam, but now it says my signal is excellent, so I don't know. I don't know, you guys. Wasn't supposed to be a just chat. You love my room design? Thank you. I'm about to switch it all up because I want to face out the windows instead of I'm facing into like this alcove right now, and which means all the lights behind me. But thank you for saying that. I look lovely. No chopping so far. Okay, good. I'm happy. This is not what I was expecting to do. So tell me, those of you who are left, what do you want to see in the next Dragon Age? Yeah, I love this room. My husband and I were sharing an office and I kicked him out. So he's downstairs now. Oh, where is it? Oh, the nailing? I've got like 5 of these. I love them. I have them in all different colors. They're handy. Oh yeah, I switched those up, but I'm a big blues fan. Let me put my glasses back on. I don't speak Russian. I'm assuming that's Russian. And I can't translate it easily. Yeah, I like to switch them up. I'll show you the other ones I've got. Hang on one second. Those are the 4 that I have up on the wall. Time to make a cooking video. That is true. Yeah, I'm going to face the windows because right now I'm facing into an alcove. It's dark. I have to have a light on. The light gets hot. I don't like that. But when I set this up, I set it up for me to just be gaming at this computer, not to be doing videos. And then I decided to start doing videos and it just became a whole different purpose. So I have, my husband bought me gaming. I gotta be the only 58-year-old woman who's asking for gaming equipment for her birthday, but my husband's bought me a gaming monitor for my birthday. So I'm waiting for that to show up. And then I'm setting up a new desk over there facing out the window. So then the background will be this alcove. So it'll be good. When are you going to start streaming, Casey? Casey says, I thought you had an interesting take thinking that Solus will be on a redemption arc and not the baddie. That's what I think. I think he's a really sympathetic character. When you think about what he did to destroy the Fade, to destroy the elves' attachment to the Fade and what it did to them as a people, it's understandable what he's doing. So I don't think of Solus as he's not a straight up villain. Oh, I'm so happy that Google Translate says that. I wish he was speaking English because I didn't want to chance trying to open up yet another screen and do other things because everything's so tenuous. Yes, I'm a grandmother. I've had several people say to me, one person who clicked through who said, when I clicked through and saw you, no offense, but I thought maybe I was going to get marital counseling, which I thought was really funny. And then another person clicked through and said something similar. Oh, I was not expecting a grandma. Which is why I think my having a channel is funny. I've never watched Drunk Kitchen. I've watched Drunk History. I think he's a villain, but I think he's a villain with of course, those are the most interesting villains, right? The ones who don't see themselves as villains and the ones that have a compelling story. I think Solus has a super sympathetic story. And so I don't see him as the big bad for that. But I do agree with that, Doug. Yeah, less meaningless fetch quests. But that's hard. I can't think of a game, almost any game I can think of that doesn't have a lot of fetch quests and filler kind of stuff. I was just thinking I was going to put some music in the background, but my son's a musician. Not that I'm pushing my son's stuff, but I tried to use his music a couple weeks ago in the background of a stream, and it got copyright claimed instantly. And even he couldn't get the copyright claim removed. So I'm like, well, sorry, not using your music anymore. Casey, you're pushing 40. You're a youngster. I want my original Grey Warden back in Dragon Age with Morrigan by my side. I don't think they'll do that because I don't think Dragon Age has a history. They don't bring the hero from game to game to game. I think it makes it easier for them to make new games when you don't bring the hero forward. It gives you a lot more latitude in the kind of hero that you create. I want a mission in the Black City and the Forgotten Ones, the Forbidden Ones evolved. Hi, is it Quistas? Is that how you pronounce that? Quistas? Hello, if I haven't said hello to you because I don't recognize that name. I hope that those things are involved. You made it, Viernus. Hello. And as you can see, we're just chatting because the signal is so shitty today that I couldn't get, it was just super lag. So now I'm just chatting. Just chatting, which is something I never thought I would do. Ever, ever, ever. Casey, I don't have a gaming PC yet, but I have everything to stream my Nintendo Switch. I've never played on a Nintendo Switch. You're just getting started more and more. I'm thinking you really should. I'm just telling you I'm going to try to move this chat over so that I can not looking off to the side from your guys' perspective all the time. I hesitated for months and months and months to start making videos. Like the first video I made was a video for Mass Effect before Legendary came out. And I knew that it would do okay because Mass Effect was coming out in a few weeks, and I knew it would at least get some views. I was surprised at how many subscribers I picked up so fast. That was really unexpected, and that kind of forced me to start thinking about how I really wanted to move my channel forward. I'm still trying to figure those things out. Casey Sandbox, I love that show. I know my daughter introduced me to it. And I think I've watched every single one. I wish that show hadn't ended. It was so funny. I love, love, love the fact that they're presenting valid and actual information in a form that most of the people that I perceive to be their audience would never watch. They would not get the information otherwise. You were hoping to get some graphics done. Yeah, I think you should just dive in. Don't mind me saying this, but in the long run, I know from speaking for myself, I think that it becomes an excuse to keep putting it off. As you can tell, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm learning every day, and I just decided to go ahead and do it. Mass Effect pulls off a grand scale without feeling grindy. They do. Mass Effect was like lightning in a bottle, though, right? It's one of those games that managed to even the fetch quests end up being kind of fun because you like your companions so much. And Crystal says she agrees about Solus. That's just what I think. I hope I'm right. Push his music all you want. I can't. Hello, Linda. Hello, Linda. And see, I'm not even doing a game today, Linda. Today I'm just talking because the signal was so terrible that I couldn't get any kind of, it was just so awful that I had to turn the game off. So now I have an excellent connection now that I'm not also trying to push a game. Yeah, it was good timing. That was just, I just got lucky with that. If I were being honest about my progress now, I was on like this complete upward trajectory. I was picking up like 100 and more subscribers every day. And that has now tapered off, and I'm picking up about 50 a month, which is probably a more reasonable rate, but it's a little bit, I'm not disappointed about it, but it was a little bit disappointing considering I'm like, wow, I'm doing so well. But when I was had to be realistic, I understand why it happened. If AAA games don't have 60 hours of gameplay for the 60 or 70, then they get hammered on social media and there's just so much fluff. Well, plus, I agree with that, Shar, but I also think that, speaking as an old lady, I also think that people have different expectations for games nowadays. Like, for instance, this is different, but the MMO that I've been playing the last couple days, A New World, it has a mass amount of content between the beginning and end game. And already, if you go on YouTube and look up like builds and how to what is the word I'm trying to say? Oh crap, my mind's gone blank. What is the process? Speed run, how to speed run the game, how to get to end game. Everybody just seems to be focused on getting from A to B as fast as they possibly can. Like the journey has lost its value. People have lost sight of the journey is the game, right? I don't get it. Anyway, that's a soapbox. Yep, semi-genius, I agree. Crystal says, I think they should expand on the Leviathan. From the Deep Roads DLC, they opened up an interesting storyline there. What happens when the Red Lyrium reaches them, or is one of them the source? What? The Leviathan from the Deep Roads. And I'm trying to think what that is. I'm in the middle of reading The Calling right now, too. You threw me off there for a second. It's fun to hear me talking. Yeah, Linda's an old friend of mine from many years ago, so it's very fun to have her pop into the stream. TK Fam says, I never streamed. I just upload vids from DA3. I'm going to have to go look at your channel then. That is always fun, especially since it's been really interesting to me, the depth of lore that you guys all know about it. You're too much of a solo nerd. But that's always been my thing too, TK, is I always say that I'm a solo nerd. I tend to be pretty introverted. I'm kind of a homebody. And people like you end up with so much lore knowledge that other people want to know, though. It's interesting. The only game you can speedrun, Antonio, is Marvel's Spider-Man. I've never played any of the Marvel games, never played Spider-Man. Never played any of those. They never really interested me. Oh, did I misunderstand you? I thought you said you do videos from Dragon Age 3, Mass Effect, Andromeda, and Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Agreed, Linda. Our attention spans have eroded with the instant feedback social media created. That is true. You're 30 minutes into my New World video. It's a long video. I put that up. My husband's like, nobody wants to watch an hour and a half of somebody else playing a game. And that might be true, but I'm having so much fun with that game. I really am. I forget who it was, but somebody was it Shar? Somebody whose opinion I think is valuable commented that the game looked grindy. And I went back and looked at some of the footage. And I'm like, it does look really grindy when you're watching somebody else play. It didn't perceive it as grindy when I was playing it. Yeah, speedruns are a waste. I think they're a waste. Elder Scrolls Online are worried that New World will kill ESO. There's an event going on right now in the population. No, truth be told, the heavy-handed devs are pushing people away. I haven't played Elder Scrolls a lot. I pre-purchased that game before it came out. I was super excited because Skyrim's such a great game. And I ended up I didn't find it compelling. I own 2 houses in that stupid game. And I'm embarrassed to say I spent money on those because I never play the game anymore. The heavy-handed devs are pushing people away. Yeah, same. Casey Sandbox says, same. I had a group I played Destiny with for, but I love my single-player RPGs. I played Destiny with my daughter for a while, and I love the combat in Destiny. I love the combat in Destiny, and I actually loved playing the campaign. I don't understand. Okay, old person rant right here. I don't understand the way the campaign is supposed to work in Destiny now. When you go into the game, you can't find a campaign to play. So, let's talk to you later, Toads. It was good to see you. Hopefully you'll be back. Well, Antonio, I'm like you. I'm a rabbit hole person. I mean, I've spent 7 hours learning about Elizabethan corsetry just because I got sidetracked reading something about Elizabeth I. It's like a giant font of useless knowledge. Yeah, I tend to really love single-player RPGs, but occasionally it's fun to play with other people. Spoilers, we found out that lyrium is essentially the blood of Leviathan, large beings that live under the ground, I believe, created the dwarves. Okay, I have heard reference to that. When you said Leviathan, I went straight to Mass Effect, and then I was like trying to tie Mass Effect to Dragon Age, and then I got very like brain-locked for a second there. Tom. I didn't realize you were still in the stream, Tom. Yeah, Titans. Okay, thank you. That's is there Leviathans in Dragon Age? Because I got that completely threw me. And like I said, I'm reading The Calling right now, which takes place all on the Deep Roads, and I haven't heard the Leviathan. Well, yeah, Destiny's a fun game. I just don't understand. There's no campaign to play in Destiny anymore, which immediately puts it way further down on my level of interest, even though I think the combat's super fun. I'm also making my way slowly through Halo Combat Evolved right now because I've never played the entire Halo series. And I'm really looking forward to getting to some of the newer, like Reach, which I've heard is really, really good. And I'd kind of like to try the multiplayer in that game, but I'm a little bit scared because my boys used to play the Call of Duty like Warzone. One of my sons still plays Warzone and stuff, and that's just not, that's like a nightmare to me. I look at that and think, oh, that's where you want to go if you want to get made incessantly fun of by young male gamers who are going to call you names. Barely phone call time. I'm not surprised. You guys got any fun plans for tonight? I am going out to dinner with my man tonight. Don't know where we're going, but we're going to go out to dinner. Shar, he's working from home like a lot of people. He's working from home. Working from home. When I streamed last week, somebody made the comment that, oh yeah, it's so glad we're working from home and we can do this. And I'm thinking, all these things you can do from home and still get your job done that you'd never be able to do at work. Are they called Leviathan? I knew you were looking it up, Crystal, because you went silent there for about 2 minutes. So I knew you were looking it up. I'm going to have to look it up when we're off stream because I don't want to mess with my signal here. I would love to be able to go to the Black City and to find out more about the old gods, but I'm kind of thinking in this next game they might not do that because I don't know where you go with the game after you actually do the whole reveal with the Black City. I mean, that's kind of the crux of the whole story. So I don't know whether that's going to come out in this next game. Since, is it Mike Gamble? What's his name? Has talked about that they see Dragon Age as having potential for another few games. TK fam, I'm an introvert but can go extrovert. I just don't care to be that chatty Cathy. Chatty Catty. I think I know what you mean. I'm an introvert and I'm able to chat and be social, but I don't gain my energy that way. That's the way I always see the difference between. I am also working from home. I like to be social. I like meeting new people. I like conversing with new people. I'm generally decent at it, but I find it tiring overall. So I will regain my energy by being alone. Whereas I think some people regain their energy by being extroverted and being with other people. Doug is trying to work from home right now. Waiting to see how the Black Myth Wukong will be when it's done. I don't understand that reference. Yeah, the next game is into Winter, isn't it, Casey? I think it is into Winter. See, I need to get my old friend Linda and Tom into gaming somehow or another. They're both, if they're even in stream still, they're like eyes glazed over. Leviathan from Mass Effect 3, original creators of the Reapers, Titans from DA1. Final game, restore the Black City, make a return series. Yeah, I agree with that, Doug. So I don't know that that's going to happen in this next game because and I can't think of the reference off the top of my head, but I've heard in an interview him say that they don't see this next game as the last game. So I think the Black City and the Maker Returns, that's not this next game. I don't see that anyway. I mean, I think we will resolve the Solus storyline, so that should be super interesting. Because if you take down the veil, then everything changes for the humans, obviously, even if they can survive it, and everything changes for the elves. I'm actively trying to not type my work emails in this chat box. Yeah, I like my piece. Not likely. I know, not likely. I know. You and Mark. He's not likely either. I'm fighting a losing battle. I'd still be playing the game right now if I thought the stream could handle it, but apparently I'm having trouble with my signal today, so I'm chatting. And you guys are seeing what my room looks like. Are you who are working from home, are you allowed now to work from home permanently, or are you on some kind of schedule where you're expected to be back at the office at some point? My husband was working from home for almost 2 years, thinking that they were going to have him go back. But just recently, they've reassessed things like a lot of companies have after the last year, 2 years almost now. And so now he's basically permanently from home. He's going to go in like 1 or 2 days a week. And I'd be willing to bet a lot of companies are like that. I was working for the local court, but I'm not doing that anymore because they wanted to make a schedule change that it was not okay with me. So this is it now. I guess that makes me a full-time streamer. Oh my God. Crystal says, I'd love to see them continue in this world. I love the Dragon Age universe. I do too. Oh, Black Myth Wukong is a game that's coming out next year whenever they're done. Yeah, that's a never publish. It kills the franchise. Tote says, ESO was disappointing for me. I came to realize that I love building a home and collecting stuff to the point of actual hoarding. I discovered that as well, Totes. What I discovered was that I'm willing to drop an embarrassing amount of real life money on building a digital home that has zero value. I think I have like 2 full furnished homes in Elder Scrolls Online, and I'm not even playing the game currently. But I do that too, Linda. I also read. So my major pursuits are gaming and reading. And I like them both for the same reason, because they're immersive escapism. That's why I play role-playing games and story-heavy games. I don't watch television, almost never. Do I think Flemeth or Mythal will be a big part of the next game? I do think Flemeth and Mythal will be part of the next game. I don't know how big, but I do think Flemeth will be part of the next game. Sorry, I'm reading backwards now in the chat to make sure that I'm not missing stuff that I really wanted to say. Starbucks Support Center is still under delayed renovations. Won't reopen until at least January. Developers like me will be mostly from home, not in office from a day or 2 week, if that. Yeah, that's exactly what my husband's doing. He goes in ostensibly on Thursdays, but they had a little bit of an upswing in the COVID cases that they had there, so now he's back home again. He's only been in once in like 4 months. He loves it. I love it mostly, but I don't get as much alone time when he's here all the time, so it's a trade-off. Sounds like my Fallout 4 experience built up every settlement pot. Oh, I know. When I played Fallout 4, if I were to open up my Fallout, I haven't opened it in like 8 months, but if I were to open up my Fallout 4 game right now, I have so many mods loaded into that game, and 99% of them are settlement mods to make your settlement bigger and fancier and more people that can live there. I'm out of state for my company's HQ, got rehired at my company full-time remote right before COVID. I officially work. Wow, that's awesome. Exactly, Totes. As a gamer, you get to live many lives, and as a reader, you get to experience bits of it. That is an exactly perfect way of putting that. I have noticed, and I put this in one of my very first videos, I have noticed that when you read a book, and you read a book that you love, you'll talk about the characters and you'll say, Jane did this and Jane did that and Jane is doing this other thing. And you are really attached to that character, Jane. But when you play a game, a good story-heavy game with a well-developed story, you don't say Jane did this or that. You say, I did this or that. So it becomes a different experience. I mean, I talked about that in my Mass Effect video where I was talking about how attached people get to Commander Shepard. You don't say Commander Shepard did this, the that, and the other thing. You say, I did this and that and the other thing. And so I love it for the immersiveness. That's what I love about it. Yeah, I don't watch television. Exactly. Boy, Crystal and I would get along. Books and games. Ulysses, is that how you say that? Ulysses Hernandez Mercado. Hello, if I haven't said hello to you. Imagine Flemeth as a companion on the next game. Well, Flemeth is not alive. Is Flemeth still alive? Mythal. Yeah, Flemeth is still alive. And 99% of them are settled mods +1. Yep. I do a little creative writing, but I never show it to anybody. Fallout 4 becomes Sims Lite. Yeah, I don't play Sims. I've purchased 1 or 2 of the Sims games over the years. I mean, I know there's a million of them, and I just never did anything for me. I tried to love Sims. I just don't. It's just not my thing. But Fallout 4, in terms of building a settlement and then getting all those settlement people to come in and then downloading those mods that make them more chatty and kind of give them their own lives, I love that stuff. I have Life is Strange. And I've played like the first 2 chapters of it, but it got busy. I just got too busy, and it was right when the stuff was starting to happen with my dad, so I put it aside and I haven't gone back to it. But I do own Life is Strange, and it looks like a game that's right up my alley. I actually found it a little bit hard, to be honest. I'm not going to lie. The beginning part where she gets recruited into that company and she's doing her training and you're basically learning the controls. I found that fiddly. Do I play games because I'm afraid of real life human interaction? Stop being an asshole, Tom Binger. Same here, which is why my Fallout 4 is constantly crashing. I still love it, though. I got so far I can give my settlements different looks. Yeah, it's great. Tom is saying that as a extrovert. He's an extrovert. Kaye, a prequel game would be a lot of fun. Can just imagine being one of the first wardens riding into battle on a griffin. That would be awesome. I mean, I would love that. I love that gaming draws you in. That's why I play RPG. That's exactly why I play games. Honestly, that's exactly why I play games. It's immersive. It's escapism. It's like reading a really good book, but instead of witnessing what's happening, you become what's happening because it's got an interactive element to it that games don't. I'd be willing to predict that Linda would there's certain games Linda would really enjoy if she got into them, but I know she won't because she's very practical and she's not going to take up something that's such a big time waster. Used to do fanfic, but now going back to basic creative writing. That's a great endeavor. It really is. Creative writing is a great endeavor, even if you don't ever do anything with it. I just think it helps you expand your boundaries, expand your thinking. We're all nerds and geeks, and I love it. I am a nerd and a geek completely. The funny thing is I wasn't when I was a kid. I mean, I might have been, but I wasn't a gaming nerd. My parents were very outdoorsy, and we were all outdoor stuff. I just thought gaming was the stupidest thing in the world when I was a teenager. The only game that I really, really loved, and this will really demonstrate my age, not that I'm keeping it a secret, is you remember when you used to go to the arcade? I don't remember the name of the game, but you go to the arcade and there was a car racing one that you sit in the seat and you can shift and do the gas and you're driving. And if you go off the road, you hit the cows and the cows explode into little steaks. I don't know what game that was, but oh my God, I used to love that game. I used to laugh so hard. Brian Hanna, hello. I work with people who describe characters as the X character rather than X. They're academics, so fair enough, but it really feels like they just don't quite get it. I agree. I mean, if I'm discussing a book with somebody, like say, like a lot of people, I've read Pride and Prejudice a million times. If I'm discussing a character and I'm trying to have an intellectual discussion about the plot line or the story arc, I might describe them that way, but mostly not. Gaming lets your mind relax. Join the dark side, Linda. I'd have to think about that. Before I really went to work on Linda, I'd have to really think about what game might she enjoy, because you'd only get one. Linda has a brilliant mind, and you'd only get one shot with her. I don't know if it was Pole Position. Cowane's Creations. I love that name. I don't remember the name. I mean, I was a kid. We were just, I was a teenager. We were just there goofing around, but I used to laugh so hard. Sometimes I get more attached to game characters than real people, as in, I'm an introvert. I like the characters better than real life. I know. Linda, come to the dark side. We've got cookies. Contra. A side scroll 90. See, I've never played any of those sides. I've never played any of those because back then I wasn't into gaming. Janbo, time for my lunch. Have a great rest of the chat. I hope the YouTube gods are in your favor for the next stream. This one has been fun, though. I'm glad you had fun. I'm sorry the game kind of got screwed up. And I'm going to yet again go through all my stuff, try to figure out what's going on. But hopefully by next week, I will have a new gaming monitor and hopefully a new setup. Linda says, I have an addictive personality. Where they were first doing those trivia games, I would play them for 6 hours at a time. I could see that. In fact, Linda, that's the exact same reason Tom says he doesn't play games, is because of that same thing. Now, I had that problem when I played WoW back in the day. Mark, my husband, this is probably TMI for everybody else. My husband was doing a lot of traveling, and I played games. I played way more video games than WoW is what I was playing. I played that game obsessively for like 4 or 5 years. And then I kind of looked back and thought, this is not something I want to model for my kids. This is not the way to live my life. And I never played more than 20 hours a week, but that's a lot for a mom. I mean, every night when my kids were in bed, that's what I spent the whole evening doing. So I dialed that back, and now I'm pretty careful with how much I play. That's my wife's reasoning as well. She'd go all in on a chosen game and neglect things like cooking or self-care. I did do that, not self-care, and not cooking because I love to cook, but I did neglect other things I should have been doing the first few years I played because it was such a new thing to me. I mean, I sort of discovered gaming as like a 35-year-old. And no one's, 35-year-old's an adult. No one's people can't really tell you to stop. I just, had to step back and go, look, my kids, this is not the way I need to be a little more responsible than this. Joust and Galaga. See, I don't even know those games until I found Gauntlet. Bye, Jambo. I think I said goodbye. I hope I did. TK fam. Is Pole Position, is that the game I'm thinking about? That's the driving game. Funny graphics. You could drive all kinds of cars, but you have to use the gas and brake. You have to shift yourself. And if you hit animals in the game, they explode into steaks. I just thought that game was hilarious. Well, I loved WoW. It was the very first game I was ever introduced to. It's literally the first video game I ever played after those arcade games when I was a kid. WoW was my first 2 Dawn session. I have never cared for the graphics in WoW, the cartoony look, but the game was highly addicting. Side proof, she should get her retroactively created. She killed the T-Rex with only pistols. She said she didn't know how to switch weapons. I could totally see that happening. Proof, I did get her to play Tomb Raider back before the kids were born. She got out of bed at 3 a.m. muttering about gears and timing. Yes. See, that would be me. I bore my husband. I don't do it anymore so much, but I bore my husband to death talking about gaming things. And he's like, his eyes just glaze over because he not interesting, doesn't get the game, doesn't want to do it. What is your usual amount of time for character creation, as in achieving a certain looking character, 1 through 10 being a default character, 10 being a digital cosmetic surgeon? I'm probably an 8. I've been known to restart the same game, especially like Dragon Age. I've been known to restart that game like 6 times in a row because the character that I made in character creation did not look very good when she showed up in game. And I didn't want to have an ugly character because I'm old and vain. My nephew got Guitar Hero for Christmas. I was so addicted to it. I ordered myself a PlayStation so I could play guitar before I could get the Wii version. I haven't played in years. That sounds like something you would do. But you know what? I have an Xbox sitting downstairs that suffered from the same thing. I wanted to play Destiny. I don't think it was out on PC yet. I wanted to play Destiny. My daughter was playing Destiny. I really wanted to play with them. I went out and bought an Xbox so I could play Destiny. Never mind the fact that I can't use a controller. And I never played it because I couldn't use the controller. I bought it on PC the second it came out. Oh, good. Crystal says, and by the way, you guys were right. It's Titans. The link I got on Google got them confused as well. That's not surprising. I thought I was wrong. I just knew that when you said Leviathan, I went straight to Mass Effect. And then you started talking about Lyria, and I'm like, can't compute. Oh, God, I feel that in my soul. J to the A. I tried Guild Wars, but I was already invested in the EQ lore and didn't want to learn about a new world. I have played Guild Wars 2. I gave up because I wanted to get flying, and it was frustrating me trying to get flying. TK fam, gotta run. Mom up and out in the kitchen now. I gotta go soon too, actually, because I gotta cook some food for my husband. Not that he can't cook for himself, but he doesn't want to eat his own cooking. Brian Hanna, right there with you. My ex would often ask me to board. Oh my God, that's hilarious. My husband is really indulgent about it. He's really good. He knows how much I like doing this. It's just funny because we're like opposites. Usually it's the wife telling the husband to go ahead and do it. You did that too. Restart Dragon Age because you didn't like the color. Yeah, or your lips are too shiny or whatever. I can spend hours on character creation like a game within a game. I will play through it. I've done the same thing. Decide that you don't like the way your character looks. And then I think to myself, how vain is that? How vain is it that I'm willing to play another 65 minutes of game time because I don't like the way my character looks? Tom Binger Music, can you have my Xbox? It's like it's an old one, Tom. It's not the new generation. It's the Xbox. I can't remember. We can talk off stream. Oh, actually, I think I gave it to Katie. Talk to your sister. I can spend hours on character creation. Yes, I can do that too. Installing character extension with 1,000 sliders. Yes. Rocco, you joined the stream. It's nice to see you. I like the way my son's trolling me on my own stream. Hi, Antagonistic. Hey, I wanted to tell you, Antagonistic, because I think you're the one that said last week, you were telling me that I needed to read The Calling when we were talking about the Dark Roads, etc. And I said, oh, I think I have it in my library, but I don't think I've read it. And I looked it up, and absolutely, I had it in my library, and now I am reading it. I think I'm about halfway through now. So I think that was you that said that. And so thank you. Yeah, lips too shiny, turn off lip shine. I always turn the lip shine all the way off because they just look like they're wearing like that 1980s lip gloss. It's not vain, though. We are spending so many hours with the characters. Got to be perfect. It's true. And you know what? Like I laughed the other day when New World offered me an old-looking character. I think I put that up on my community thing. And I never play an old character because it's a fantasy. And my fantasy is not that I'm 58. My fantasy is I'm like 30. So I'm not going to play an old character. Hello, Jordan. But I agree with you, Toads. It's not, I mean, it is vanity, but I'm allowed to have vanity. It's my game. I paid, $50 for it or whatever. If I want to look like a, hot 25-year-old, that's what I'm going to look like. Lip shiny. Do you guys play MMOs or do you just play RPGs? I mean, single player RPGs. Do I know any good books on the humanities I could recommend? What a random question. And actually, I read a lot, so I do know good books, but I'm trying to think on the humanities. Crystal says, I love talking about game stuff, but none of my friends play. My little brother games, so he gets the brunt of my fangirl crushing about my favorite games. Yeah, I'm in the same position. Nobody I know plays. I can't even get my damn kids to play with me. You're only as old as you feel. But sometimes I feel really old, so tell my body that in the morning when I wake up after staying up till 2 a.m. playing games. It's turning into like an old lady. I'm pretty soon going to be talking about my meds and my health problems. You play both MMOs and, yeah, I play both MMOs and RPGs. Not very many. I should back out of that. I keep trying to play MMOs. They interest me. Right now I'm trying New World, so I'm hoping I'm going to stick to that. Coane says, I wish I could find another MMO I like, but I stick to solo RPGs now. I have been mostly solo RPGs the last 5 years, but like I said 10 times, I am trying New World right now, and so far I'm really enjoying it. I just don't know anybody in game yet, but I'm going to change that. I hope that the next Dragon Age has better character creation options. Oh, God, from your lips to God's ears, because the hair is terrible in that game. I'll play anything where I can have companions, get a character, hoard stuff, and adventure. I've never played L.A. Noire. I've heard of it, Rocco, but I've never played it. Oh, Jordan, that's so nice. I wish my mom was a gamer like you'd be so cool. That's very nice. I had a lot of fun with my kids playing games when they were younger, but I mean, they're older now and they're building careers and whatnot now. So it's a different time in their life now. Solo RPGs only after the WoW burnout. Yeah, that WoW burnout can last years, especially if you spent years in WoW. So you've played WoW. I've played that. Rift. I've tried that. Star Wars. I've played that. Secret World. I tried that. Oh my God. I'm kind of a gaming whore. Look at all these games I've played. Random humanities books. Anything by Stephen Jay Gould. I don't even know who Stephen Jay Gould is, so I will have to look up who that is. And I agree that MMOs are too much of a time sink. They are a lot of big time sink. It's my concern about playing New World right now is that I'm not going to have the time to devote to it every week, but I'm trying it. Bronco says, I spent 2 hours making a character and played all the way to Skyhold, decided, like, yep, I've done that. I've done that many times. I've probably finished Dragon Age Inquisition 5 times. Excuse me. But I've probably played the first 2 hours of it 20 times. I mean, it's embarrassing. Many, many, many times. Then I didn't like something, or I decided I didn't want to be an elf because they're too skinny or whatever. There's always some dumb reason why I went back and did the character creator again. I never played EverQuest. What do you mean Garrus is one of the detectives you run into? You're playing L.A. Noire currently. Garrus is one of the detectives you run into. My son is still trolling me, you guys. I like Scrabble. I'll play Scrabble with you, Tom, if you'll play a video game with me. Yeah, WoW I loved. I loved WoW for several years. Never played L.A. Noire, but I'm going to have to look into it, although it's... Yeah, probably shouldn't have said gaming whore, but I've said it twice now. Some MMOs sound interesting, but I'm just so worried about people being toxic. I'm so easily upset when... You know what, Crystal? I'm going to tell you something. I have this exact same problem. The very first time that somebody was truly horrible to me in WoW, you're in a dungeon and, hey, can we not speedrun this dungeon? I don't want to jump from shelf to shelf. I'd like to play the dungeon. Or I accidentally pulled, I always play mage. I accidentally pulled a mob that I didn't mean to pull. And the person, whoever's tanking on the pickup group you're in is such an asshole to you. I really take that stuff personally. I have a hard time understanding how people play those games just like, who cares? Just blow it off, who cares? I have a hard time with it, but I'm working on it. This stream that I'm talking to you guys on right now is an example of me working on improving myself and trying to move beyond limitations I've placed on myself in the past. At the ripe old age of almost 60, I'm trying to move past limits I've placed on myself because I'm afraid of being stupid or getting my feelings hurt. So I encourage you, Crystal. Sorry, that was my soapbox thing. The voice actor. Okay, I'll say you completely confused me with that comment. L.A. Noire is an old game, is it not? It's been out a long time. Is it one of the storyboard type games? Some MMOs, yeah, plus has to be available on console. That way you get the best emotional. The group sing-along at Skyhold, yes. And the drinking thing, when they play the game and they play Wicked Grace, whatever it was, and Cullen loses his clothes. Oh, that's so nice, Crystal. Unfortunately, that's most multiplayer. It seems MMO are not nothing but screeching children and griefers. Thank goodness for single-player games. By the way, hello, Jeepsec. I don't disagree with you, but I wish it was different. I mean, multiplayer can be so much fun. Like, I love the idea, like back in the old day when our parents had like bowling leagues, I would love to have like a 1 night a week or 2 nights a month, maybe it's probably more realistic, where you go and do dungeons together and you have a group of people. I know there are groups like that. I just think it'd be super duper fun. My mom's the best. J to the A. Heck yeah, personal development is always important no matter what your age. That's right. Totes. At Crystal, I totally get you. I played Dead by Daylight. Times has to be the most toxic community ever. Had to turn my messaging to private because after nearly every... Yeah, exactly. And that's one of them. Well, that's not the only thing that drove me out of WoW. Some of the gaming decisions drove me out of WoW. But that's what made me stop progressing very well, because I didn't want to do dungeons because I no longer had a bunch of friends who played. The people who were in my guild 10 years ago, those people have moved on. So I didn't know a lot of people anymore. And the pickup groups just suck. They suck donkey balls as, well, I probably shouldn't have said that. Oh, it's over 14. Okay, because I've heard the name. I've heard that name a long time ago. That's right. Never too old to learn, prove, and enjoy. I'll come and play Scrabble with you, Tom, and you can play an online video game with me. My mom's the best. That sounds like fun. You are the ultimate gamer mom. I don't know if I'm the ultimate gamer mom, but I definitely like to play games. Yeah, a good guild, usually of older folks, helps a lot. And I think, I came to the conclusion, and maybe this is me coming to a really late conclusion. I'm going to state my statement of the obvious maybe here, but I think there are a hell of a lot of players our age. It's just that we are an invisible demographic, because if you turn on YouTube or Twitch, you do see some. I mean, I'm not saying there are none, but you see very few people my age. I'll say our collectively, because I know some people in here are closer to my age. There's just not very many. We're an invisible demographic, and it's what's really crazy is the older you get, generally speaking, the more you have discretionary time to spend on stuff like this if you choose to, and generally speaking, the more you can afford stuff like this. Like, I own gaming equipment now that I wouldn't have been able to buy when my kids were little because I had money going to other things, like raising kids. We are not a demographic that they should ignore. Yeah, I think MMOs are really fun if you have people to play with. Yeah, that's true. There used to be a site called Too Old to Play. It was all over 40 gamers. Now I think it's 25 and over, which kind of drove out a lot of the over 40 reflex. That's totally true. I'm not going to play a flight sim with you. No. Oh, the Black Dahlia murders. That's a rabbit hole that I have spent time in the past going down. Let's spend 7 hours and go to bed at 2:30 in the morning because you spent 7 hours reading crap about the Black Dahlia murders in LA. Yeah, that's my thinking anyways. We have to make, our age group has to make gaming more visible. And maybe they'll change eventually the direction of, I mean, we're never going to have this much power, but change some of the directions of how games are developed and I think I hope that the ship is turning back a little bit towards more story-based games where lore and story depth and motivation within the game for why you're shooting all these people in the face it is some sort of factor. I think places that games like Fortnite or whatever, which I don't play, so if I'm misrepresenting it, forgive me, but where your only goal is to just shoot people and there's not even a loose storyline so that you understand why you're doing it. I think those have their place because they're super arcadey, but I just think that gaming in general is going in that direction. Exactly. Don't want to spend my time getting harassed by 9-year-olds. Thank you, Totes. I've been going to bed around 4 a.m. I have been trying not to do that. I am married to somebody who is a super early riser and goes to bed super early, which is why I have so much time to game in the evenings. But I naturally am a night owl. So if I'm left to my own devices, if I was single or I was on my own, which thank God I'm not, I'd probably be up till 2 and 3 in the morning and then sleeping until 10:30, which I'm not defending. I'm just saying. I force myself to not sleep in late if I stay up super late gaming because I will not allow it to become like a regular habit. So if I go to bed at 2 in the morning because I was playing, Mass Effect until 2 in the morning, I'm still going to have to get out of bed at a reasonable time. Do I have what? I don't even know what sneeze is. SNES? I don't know what that is. Yeah, you see so few of us represented. I sometimes see young players mocking people our age and it irritates me. Your love of gaming. Totally true, Crystal. Completely true. I saw a thing on Reddit a few weeks ago of this guy. It was a meme thing, and he was making fun of this he was an old story because he was talking about a video game store he used to work at, but he was talking about a woman that came into his video game store and wanted to buy The Witcher because she loved Geralt, and he was laughing at her, and I'm like, what's wrong with her loving Geralt? She's old. She's not dead. I mean, why is that funny? There's a new career for you, game development for the over 50 crowd. There's tons of good games. What they need is representation. These people need we need representation. If we identifiably spend enough money, the problem is it gets drowned by the shooty, no story people. That's true, but I guess that's where the money is. But I think that we are suffering, a little bit from, there's a stigma attached to playing games for people our age. I mean, most of my friends, Linda excluded, but most of my friends who are my age that are, my local friends that I can see, think it's a really stupid waste of time, and they have no problem telling me that. If I tell them I play games, they will make a comment. Generally speaking, it's always couched in some sort of humorous thing, but generally there's condemnation. So I don't know how you change those. I don't know how you change those perceptions. Nobody makes condemning remarks if you want to go to bowling. You know, we're going bowling 3 nights a week. Okay, nobody thinks anything of that. Jeep Sack breaks over back to work. Too bad. Have a great rest of the day. Oh, S, Super Nintendo. S, okay. Super Nintendo is the ultimate game. Yeah, well, I should have kept the one that you have. That was also the thing when I was a kid, so clearly blessed. Chrono Trigger. Have a great rest of the day, Jeep Sack. Yeah, see, I should have known what that was, but I never played Super Nintendo. I have one of the little teeny tiny ones that came out a few years ago. You know those little, they have like 70 games loaded onto them? We have one of those. I waited in the rain outside Best Buy a few Christmases ago. I went over there at like 3 a.m. and waited in the rain for like 5 hours to get one of those. I was the only person my age there. It was a bunch of like teenage boys and me waiting to buy that little miniature NES that came out. Brianna, hello. I'm 25. I get annoyed with my own generation younger when it comes to gaming. I tend to play solo with my dad who's 52. Oh, I think it's lovely that you play with your dad, though. I really do. I mean, yeah. You know, true. And you people who are like me and like these kind of games, it's when you have younger kids and you do it with them, it's really fascinating the side of your kids and their friends that you get to see that you will never see in any other forum. They will show sides to you and display attitudes and views and worldviews that you do not know they have if you don't get into a situation like that with them where you're completely seeing them with their peers. I hear people who play shooters say story-driven games are boring, but I'm like, your game only involves running around repeatedly shooting other players, no story. I find that boring. I find that boring too, although I will admit if I have a story motivation to do it, I like shooting somebody in the face as much as the next person. I mean, I love it. But I usually have to have a story motivation. But those same people who call gaming a waste of time can repeat word for word all the episodes. Exactly! Those little ones are not so super normal Nintendos. Yes, but I waited in line outside Best Buy in the rain. Oh yes, my cowbell. Rocco wants the cowbell. Yeah, that's the thing. Most of those people who criticize that will spend brainless hour upon hour watching television, which is the most passive thing you can possibly do. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. If that's the way you can disconnect from stress and relax for a while, that's totally cool. Just don't bash me because I want to play a video game. Back in the day, hello, Suzanne. Back in the day, one of my son's friends was having trouble with part of Pokemon Yellow and asked my son if I would get through the level for him. I used to get my kids sometimes. There was a level in Borderlands. I can picture it, but I can't think of who the boss is. But when I was playing Borderlands for the first time, I think it was Borderlands 2, I had a boss I absolutely could not defeat, and I asked my son to defeat him for me. My son didn't even play Borderlands. And he came into the game, but he was just like born and raised gamer, right? So he just came in, killed the boss for me, got past that part in the game. It was fine. I've still never killed that boss. Are you asking me what liquor is in this bottle? My Naline bottle? It's just Crystal Light. It's just flavored water. I don't drink whiskey until late at night. Brianna, my younger sister who is 14, also games. Her and her friends are such trash talkers. She's not like that when she plays with my dad and me. Yeah, I mean, but that's pretty, I mean, I think for the teenage, I mean, listen to me, I'm not trying to sound like a parental counselor here. I think for the teenage experience, that's pretty normal. There's a lot of things that teenagers will say to each other that they would never say to their parents. I agree, Rocco. I mean, that's what I prefer. I prefer to play the game and get immersed in the game than to watch a TV series. But having said that, there are some TV series I loved. I just don't make a habit of watching television. People don't know how good bar until they read the same ones. Same goes for games. That's probably true. I think one of my sons plays. He works a lot, but he plays primarily Call of Duty. I think he primarily plays Warzone, and then he also plays some PUBG. I think too. PUBG is a game I've never played. Not that I have a thing against it. I just have never played it. I kind of get the impression of the group that we've got in here that it's kind of a real mix in ages, which is, I think, is incredibly cool. I was just thinking of that when you said that, antagonistic, because I literally just watched those Netflix trailers. So I was thinking of The Witcher. But, you know, that's the same kind of fantasy sci-fi stuff that I like. So I did enjoy that one. You guys got any fun plans tonight? No, I don't know. We're all in different time zones. Like I know Rocco, I think, is in Italy, so he's on a completely different time zone. But for me, it's almost 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So I'm just on the cusp of my weekend starting. My stepdad saw me playing Red Dead 2 when I was visiting them. He loved watching it like an interactive Western. It is. My husband kind of says that too. Why would anybody want to watch somebody else playing video games? And I used to say that, but I actually enjoy watching video game play now, so I kind of get it. Scott, you're 35. You're the same age as my kids. I love it. So it's like an unfolding. I think you would really like Eleanor. Each case takes about 1.5. That's kind of nice too, because then you can just do it in segments. A really good story RPG, turn-based on Divinity Original Sin. Oh, for God's sake, Bronco, yeah, you should go get some sleep. But thank you so much. I'm sorry the stream went all kind of sideways today. I don't know. I'm going to fix that somehow or another. But I totally appreciate you coming by. I really do. Yeah, 5 hours is not very much sleep, so go get sleep. Bye. Yeah, 1:45. So you and I are both West Coast. Well, Henry Cavill is a great Geralt. It's awesome that he's a video gaming fan. It's awesome that he's a fan of The Witcher, and it does not hurt that he's extremely easy on the eyes either. 39, been a gamer since you were 7. I kind of admire that. You're 39, you've been a gamer since you were 7. I'm 58. I've been a gamer since I was 35. I just made it to 45 going on 24. God, I know that feeling. I've never played Dungeons and Dragons. I had a lot of, not a lot, but I had several friends when I was a kid who were like, you know, the old school dungeon, long before computers, old school Dungeons and Dragons, where they were like, they were just addicted to it. So Casey Sandbox, you must be also West Coast unless you're saying same for something different. I'm going to have to try Weller's whiskey. My son, who is probably semi-monitoring this chat, he's kind of a whiskey guy. I am the same way about whiskey that I am about wine, and that is my palate is not at all refined. I just know if I like it or not. Generally, I tend to like Irish whiskey because it's smoother. So I'm thinking that I don't like Scotch as much as I do. I generally like I love Tillamook Dew. And because it's smoother, I like Jameson as well, but I tend to like the smoother stuff. But Weller's I've never heard of, so I'll have to try that. Late bloomer. I am a late bloomer. You're kid free. I hope you're doing something fun, Jay. Kid free. You got your gaming thing when you were 6. I'm a late bloomer. Kid free. If you count Space Invaders gaming, you're 60, gaming since 18. I think I've played Space Invaders. Crystal is 45, been gaming since the 80s, but took a break in my 20s and early 30s because people made me feel bad about it. I finally decided I didn't care, and De-Orange my first step back and I loved it. I love Crystal, I think, and I think we'd get along in real life, although you're quite a bit younger than me. But I gamed from 35 to about 50 and kept it a secret. My husband would sometimes, in love, thought it was amusing, and he would tell people that I liked to game and stuff, and I always got annoyed at him for telling people because I just didn't want to hear it from them that, how stupid they thought it was or whatever. And now I don't care. Finally, at almost 60, I don't care. Eventually, I'll figure out what I want to do for a living, and, who knows. Coane, I just ordered an Elgato so I can stream the Xbox. My roommate doesn't play video games, but she's agreed to play Mass Effect. We're going to stream it so her daughter can watch. That's awesome. You do order the Elgato, the mic or the camera? I'm using the whole Elgato system because I thought it would be a self-contained system that would be easy to pick up. So I have the camera, the Stream Deck, and the mic. You got your first Nintendo. You're born, okay, 82. Antagonist, you're the same age as Tom, who's in chat. You're the same age as my son. He's born 84. Sorry, I'm lying. Oops. I graduated high school in 82. My son was born in 84. Scott started at 8 or 9. I'm so jealous of you guys. And Casey's still looking for some D&D friends to play with. Well, look, let's just scroll back here a little bit. Who is it that's looking for a D&D game tonight? Oh, no, that's you. Brian, 50, playing D&D since 82 and other gaming since the 70s. Oh, I love that. Single malt. So I think Scotch is what my son drinks. Is Scotch a smooth drink, though? I've always thought the few Scotches I've tried were a little bit, they were strong. I guess I'm put it that way. People who love Eleanor have to taste judgment. I don't totally understand that comment. I'm going to play the shooty bits and she's going to make all the dial. Oh, that'll be super fun. How interactive. What a great way to do it. Hello, Elric. I started when I was 6 or 7, turning 41 in a few days. That's amazing. Casey Sandbox, we chatted when I was logged in as my non-gamer account. Oh, okay. Okay. I'm West Coast, from Northwest like you, grew up on the peninsula, but living in the desert now. Now, I live up here, but I'm actually from Southern California. I grew up on the beach in Southern California. My husband grew up in the Pacific Northwest, and he likes to say he saved me from California, ha. But I've lived up here for 20 years, so I'm pretty much a local now. Yeah, Scott, antagonist, or was it antagonistic? Was making that. I'm going to definitely look up Eleanor. Excuse me. My big girl account. Oh, that's perfect, Coane. Oh, you bought the camera link, the cam link thingamajiggy. I have one of those, but I'm not using my good camera as my face cam right now. I have close friends in their 50s and 60s. I'm an old soul. Age never matters with friendship. All that matters is the connection you have and the interest you share. That is so true. That is so true. And age matters less and less the older you get, until all of a sudden it matters a lot. But no, age doesn't matter once you get older. I mean, 10 years is nothing when you've had several decades under your belt. Antonio, started playing around 6. I'm turning 19 in 6 months and you feel old. Oh, don't feel that way, Antonio. At 19, you're on the horizon of so many things. Oh my God. Doug is 53, D&D since 13 or 14, arcade games in 10. Yeah, I played arcade games when I was like 15 because my friends were going to the arcade. That's what we would do. I really wasn't into them, but except for that pole position one, which I loved. Elric, I started playing D&D when I was 13, but I read all my dad's books starting from 1st to 2nd edition. He was one of the original players. That's awesome. Is it hard? A good game, but it's hard? I'm really going to have to look up L.A. Noire now. Have you guys played Disco Elysium? I purchased that in Steam, but I haven't played it. The Pacific Northwest has the best sunsets. We live right by the water, and I will say we do have nice sunsets. Really nice sunsets. And I'm very lucky now because all my kids live up here. Antonio's making us feel ancient. I think it's awesome that Antonio's in the chat. I mean, honestly, where else in real life would you have a chat where somebody in his age group wants to hang out with somebody, voluntarily hangs out with somebody in our age group. I think it's fantastic. It's the big equalizer, which is what it should be. That's one of the things I like about games too, is that it's a big equalizer. You know, all the social and cultural separators that there are nowadays are all disappear in game. Weller's is weeded, so it's smoother than the bourbons. My freedom drink for the night. Scotch has a robust. Okay, robust is probably a good word. I'm going to try Weller's though, now that you've said that, for sure. I might even ask Thomas if he has any, because he has a giant collection of whiskey. The game-like original Fallout Disco Elysium. I lecture and the students are eternally feeling old at 20. Casey, I want to redo, maybe not back to 19, but 23-ish, knowing all the things. Well, wouldn't that be the golden ticket? But honestly, if I could go back to any age I wanted to go back to, I'd probably go back to about 30. Physically, I looked my best at 30, and I felt like I had come into myself enough that I wasn't as easily pushed around as I was when I was in my 20s. Phoenix Sunsets. I've never been to Phoenix. Is it Zisa? Do you pronounce the X as a Z? Zisa 724X? Well, hello, and you're 20. I love it. Oh, quick gaming thing. If anyone is interested in Europa Universalis 4, it's available for free on the Epic Game Store until the 7th of October. I've never heard of it, and I'm going to go look because free is a great price tag to me. I've played Fallout New Vegas, Fallout 4, and what's the other Fallout? Not in Vegas, but Fallout 76 I own, but I really haven't played it. Have you guys played any of Fallout, the Fallout MMO? Antonio, funnily enough, usually my friends are usually older than me. I've used friends 30 and 40 when I was 16. That was always true of me when I was that age too. When I was in my 20s, most of my friends were in their 30s. And then somehow partway through life, you know, like 15, 20 years ago, it slowly began to notice that I was the old one of my friend groups. And now it's the reverse. I'm 58 and I'm usually the oldest of my friends. It's just, you know, I don't know. Being young and hot with maturity and wouldn't that be? Yeah, but wouldn't everybody want that? I know. I look back at pictures of myself. I shouldn't say this in mixed company, I guess, but I look back pictures of myself when I was like 25, 30 years old. I'm like, if I only knew what I was working with back then, I would have made some different decisions. But I didn't know. Yes, there is an easy way to check if your laptop can handle playing New World. You can go to the website, Can I Run It? It's called canirunit.com, and you can just put the name of the game in and it will tell you. And if you can't, it will tell you exactly what components won't work. Sonic the Hedgehog was my first. I remember being blown away. I never played Sonic the Hedgehog. Fallout 3. Yeah, I think I've played Fallout 3. So, yeah. I like the Fallout games. Do you play some Fallout 76, Toads? Doug, if I did a replay fiction book it'd be the start of college. I don't know that I would go back to any of my school years. I don't know that I would go back to any of my school years. But then my life got interrupted too because I got pregnant at 20, which I adore my son. He was the best thing to ever come into my life. But I wouldn't go back to my 20s. And that's probably why my 20s are colored for that, because I was a single mother raising a child that age. Rocco, I'd like to stay and hear you chatting, but tomorrow at 5 a.m. You need to go to bed. Go to sleep, Rocco, but I totally appreciate you coming by. I really do. I know for you it's hard because the hours are hard. But I hope to see you again next time, which will probably be Monday or Tuesday. Bye, Rocco. Bye. Let me send you my little cheers, my little whiskey cheers. I think Rocco's in Italy. You got 70. Do you play it though, Antonio? I'm literally have only been in that game for like 30 minutes. Elric has played all the Fallouts, even the obscure ones. I bought Fallout 76 on sale after they started adding NPCs, but it's still a pretty meh game. I pre-ordered it because I liked Fallout. But then it was so boring at first. And since they've added the NPCs, I've gone into it for like 30 minutes. So clearly it didn't catch my attention, at least not in the first half hour. And I don't have the kind of time I used to have, so the game has to really grab me. I played all the Fallouts. Okay, I already read that one. Sega was the hotness back then. I never had a Sega. I hated Fallout 76. Too many other actual humans in it. I just prefer the single player ones. I kind of get that. Bye, Brian. Thanks so much for coming. Bye, you guys. Brian and Rocco. See you guys. It's almost 2. I'll probably go pretty soon. But I'm really having a good time chatting with you guys. Linda, nap time before... Well, try some Weller's whiskey, Linda. Nap time before happy hour. That's hilarious. That's a tough life. Cohen, take care, Brian. Good chatting. Yeah, it is good chatting. Yeah, I haven't... Like I said, I've revisited it once for like 30 minutes, but I just don't have the time to... I mean, one MMO would be my limit, and it just didn't grab me. Oh, you're in Germany. Okay. It's very interesting. We can all be chatting in like literally different parts, far-flung areas of the world. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Rocco's in Italy. Antagonistic is still waiting for Fallout 5 and Elder Scrolls 6. That's probably a long way away. No, the buggy release didn't help. I don't even know. I pre-ordered it. I don't even know why I did that because I never really gave it the time of day after it came out. It's just like, you know, it was a waste of money. I probably got suckered in by some trailer. I'm a real sucker for stuff like that. The BioShock games. I've had several people in this little YouTube community tell me to play BioShock games. I have BioShock. Now my mind's going blank. There's BioShock. I have both BioShock 1 and 2. And I haven't finished either one. I actually filmed myself playing the one. Oh, for God's sake. I can't bring it up while I'm thinking about other games. The one where your plane crashes and you swim over to the lighthouse and there's the little girls with the giant needles and whatnot. I started playing that game and actually have had fun with that game. But again, it was right when I was BioShock 1. It was right when I was trying to get my channel started and I felt like I had to focus on certain things. So I haven't been back to it, but I have it and it's loaded. I may have it. It's loaded on my C drive. I could play it if I wanted to. Infinite is the one that happens in the sky, is it not, Suzanne? I tried to play Infinite when I was early in my gaming life, and I had trouble with the controls and stuff, and I just felt like I wasn't going to be very good at it. That probably wouldn't be true now, because now I've played a variety of games, and I'm a little bit better with controls. But back then it was like, if it doesn't play exactly like WoW, I don't know what to do. I don't know if you'll get Linda to the dark side. I know. I should get off here pretty soon anyway. It's 2:00. It's been 3 hours, even though it was 20 minutes of gaming and the rest was all talking. Jay, thanks so much for coming into the stream. I really appreciate it. I totally appreciate it. So is BioShock 1 the one that takes place under the ocean? Is that the one? There are some big jump scares in BioShock. Okay, so is that the one you'd want to start with? Because I thought that looked. I mean, I love the art style, and the game is pretty fun. Thank you, Shar. Delightful chat. Fun stream as always. Technical. No, it's. You may find it charming. I find it intensely frustrating. I'm going to get these solved. I'm going to get them solved. But I'm happy that this turned into a chat, though, which was just the absolute last thing I would have ever expected myself doing, ever. But thank you for the happy birthday wish. That's nice. By the time I see you guys again, I'll be 58, not 57. You hit a certain age with birthdays where they're not, I mean, you know, except for that I want presents. I really am not excited about celebrating them. I've never played any of the Resident Evil games. The only Resident Evil game I own is this newest one. Okay, starting with 1. I should. I actually filmed the first 30 minutes of it. I never put it on the stream. Fallout 5 2040. You messed up the whiskey name. It's just Weller. I'm going to look it up. 1 and 2 are Rapture Underwater, and 3 is Columbia Sky. Okay, so I think I'm playing 1, and I'm not playing it actively. I think the one that I've played about an hour of is 1. It's a very beautiful game. I will say that. It's the art. I love that art style, and actually I've had fun with it. I need to get back to it. That's going to be me. My channel is going to end up specializing in games everybody else played 10 years before. Yeah, I agree. It's not as jump scary as Resident. Well, I've not played Resident Evil, and I'm afraid to play it because I've heard it's really jump scary. Happy pre-birthday. Thank you. Plenty 9. I'm plenty 8, but yeah, I'm up there for sure. I do have plans for my birthday. I think I'm not supposed to know about them, but somebody accidentally said something in front of me. So I kind of know that there's might be a family dinner, which is totally what I would want, because nothing's more fun for me than spending time with the family with a dinner that I don't have to cook. The recent Resident Evil. How many Resident Evil games? Hello, Lesha. How many Resident Evil games are there? Happy early birthday. Thank you. I own, is it Resident Evil Village? Is that the newest one? The one with Lady Demetrio, or whatever her name is? The famous character that became a whole thing she was never supposed to be. Yeah, kind of surprised. If Thomas is still in chat, he's going to realize that I know about it, but only because somebody accidentally said something to me. Plenty is anything higher than 20. Yeah, I don't care what my age is. I mean, it is what it is, right? Per my wife. Lagavulin 16, very good. See, look, we could just talk about whiskeys. I know nothing about whiskeys, but I'm game to try them. By the way, I watched your whole new Weird. Didn't feel exactly, so you can tell your husband that people will watch it. Just needs more time to view. Oh, yeah, it does. I tried to cut out a couple of the areas where I spent like 10 minutes running from here to there or spent 10 minutes with my menu open. I don't know. That's very nice of you, though. I totally appreciate your watching it. I spent hours with the game paused and whispering over and over, I don't want to go down the stairs. Maybe I should. Maybe I should play a horror game for Halloween. It may be kind of fun. I am very susceptible to jump scares, and I'm not haven't really played horror games. So I would really be playing a game like that, not knowing what to expect, because I haven't played enough of them to kind of know the cadence and how those games usually work. But I'd be totally up for it. The Village in RE7, I played RE7, it was super scary. I own Village. I bought it when it came out because I don't know why. I buy games when they first come out and then I don't play them. So I already own the game, so I could play it. I could play it for Halloween. You're playing a Nerf war with your nephew. You should leave. That's more physical. And actually, it's 10 after 2, so I'm going to leave in a couple minutes, you guys, anyway, just because I think my husband is painting the floor in our basement right now, and I might have delayed just long enough that I won't have to help him. I'm writing down these whiskey names because I'm going to try them. Streaming a horror game would be fun for a lot of us. You scream like a little girl way too easily. Well, I'm going to warn you. Silent Hill, I don't know that game. I'll have to look it up. If you guys are up for me streaming a horror game, I'll totally do it for Halloween. I mean, what the heck? I need to move. I need to do something besides Mass Effect at some point. If I'm going to make a go of this whole channel thing anyway. You have to support your local old lady streamer. I don't play Minecraft. In Minecraft jump scares, there's no way I could touch a horror game. But could you watch one? Yeah, on that note, I need to focus on this stuff and get it done before quitting time. It's been great talking to you. And wasn't there discussion of a Pacific Northwest? There wasn't, but there could be. Oh, there are over 20? Wow. I think that Doug has it right, though. It's 10 after 2. Pretty soon I'm going to start getting nasty texts from my husband who wants me to actually help around the house at some point today. But I will say to you guys, the fact that the game was just completely went balls up or whatever, excuse my language, today is not even a terrible thing because I had a really good time chatting with you guys. And I hope that you enjoyed it too. And I assure you that I'm trying to get my streaming issues fixed. I really don't know what's causing them, but I'm trying. Thanks so much for spending time with me, you guys. It has been fun. Thanks so much for saying it's been a blast and hope everyone has a great weekend. That's exactly what I think. And I'm going to look up Silent Hill. I'll go look it up. Crystal's desensitized to horror movies because of Nessie. I don't watch horror games. But now I'm going to look up Silent Hill, and I might even load up Resident Evil Village. I might even have it on one of my extra drives. Okay, you guys, before I start talking too much again, I'm going to let you go. I'm going to tell you to have a great weekend. I'm hopefully going to have a great birthday. I already know I'm getting a gaming monitor, which I'm thrilled to pieces about. And I'm probably going to schedule another stream for Monday, and I hope you guys will be there. Okay, good. I'll do a horror game. I'll do a horror game in October then. Well, it is October. I'll do a horror game this month. Thank you for the birthday wishes. Horror game for Snoopy or for Spooky October. Have a great weekend, you guys. It was really fun to talk to you. I'm kind of glad my game went, into the ground and I was able to talk to you guys. It was fun. Anyways, have fun. Have a great Friday. Don't do anything stupid. Or if you do something stupid, make sure it was at least fun. And I will talk to you guys again soon, okay? See you next time. Probably Monday. Bye, you guys.